off.
Wow.
That's how they launch them. Go to the next.
Not anymore.
This is what we built a dry dock with a grant.
Oh, okay.
And it's a 400-foot dry dock, and we lease it to them.
Okay.
So it's a monster. It's named the Christopher White after Roger White's son.
Okay. Very nice.
Go to the next slide. Wow. This is a picture of the facility with the dry dock. They build the boats in the shed, and the shed doesn't look that big in this picture, but you can
Right.
see the bow of a boat
Yeah.
kind of coming out, and there's railroad tracks that go from the shed to the dry dock, and there's railroad tracks on the dry dock. So they
Yeah.
roll it out onto the dry dock, then they sink it, and then they sail it out.
Wow.
Next slide.
And nice, easy ease into.
That's
Look
a
how
picture
big.
of that boat on the dry dock.
Right.
That boat went out to Alaska.
Huge.
Okay, go to the next
And
slide.
you have the next shot of it.
Yep.
Wow.
Out in Alaska. Beautiful boat. It's called the Orca.
Yeah. Going out to Alaska, that makes sense.
Next slide. This is how Thomas C. used to launch their boat.
Right.
Next slide. We built 2 dry docks for Thomas C. and we leased it to him. So,
Yeah. Very
next
good.
slide. This is a jacket Gulf Island was delivered. Next slide. Same jacket. Next slide. This is Thomas C.'s fish processor that they recently completed and delivered.
Wow. Very impressive.
Next slide. That's the jacket going through the Dulac pontoon bridge.
Wow.
So that's
Passing that down in Dulac.
That's the only pinch point we have.
And again, being able to give you time today. Very much
glad to be
appreciate
here.
it. All right. And that'll do it for this particular segment of Going Public. But don't go anywhere. A whole lot more right here on HTV.
Do you or a loved one need help dealing with opioid use? There is help nearby. Go to opioidhelpla.org. There you will find medication and outpatient therapy nearby. Telehealth may be available. Uninsured or on Medicaid, there's help. You can be prescribed medication like Suboxone in an office-based opioid treatment site. You keep your job. You work toward a healthy lifestyle, and we help you recover. Opioidhelpla.org. Help is closer than you think.
Looking for a new truck for your business? Look no farther. Come on down to AJ Doman Chevrolet, where we got $12,000 off every remaining 23 medium duty in stock. And more trucks arriving daily. It's all happening at AJ Doman Chevrolet, where we say yes when others say no. AJ Doman Chevrolet, your business elite dealer, at the foot of the Morgan City Bridge in Berwick.
Here at South Louisiana Bank, we know the importance of working together as a team.
We're always here for you when you need a loan. By the way, here's that crawfish powder you needed. You can borrow it anytime.
So whether it's business or personal banking, we do it all. Visit our locations to find out how we can support your financial needs.
Good luck with the restaurant.
Thank you. And tell your mama thanks for the recipe. Her secret's safe with me.
I will.
South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra, available with the connected driving experience and the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Or get $3,500 purchase cash on select GMC Sierra models. Or get a total of $6,000 purchase allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
See your local GMC dealer.
West Park Self Storage is a state-of-the-art storage facility with clean, convenient, and secure climate-controlled storage. Our professional storage counselors are here to assist you with all your storage needs. We now offer after-hour access, and you can access your unit 7 days a week. We also have parking for RVs, boats, and cars with 24-hour access. West Park Storage would like to thank you for 20 years of business.
Since 1911, the Pierre Parts Store has been your one-stop shop.
Family owned and operated for 4 generations, the Pierre Parts Store has served the community by providing groceries, hardware, home products, and much more, including a full-service lumber yard. Now, we've added the Thibodeau store to the family with the same values and service we've delivered for over 100 years. The Pierre Parts Store and the Thibodeau store. Our family serving your family.
For years, the Cajun Meat Market has been the premier place to handle all of your meat market needs. And we don't stop there. We serve breakfast, lunch, and provide home-cooked family meals. All of our specialty meats are made from scratch by our butcher. Bring us your game meat and we'll do the rest. If it's a gift basket you need, you've made the right choice. We cater the basket to whatever you want. See why so many count on Cajun Meat Market on Mystic Boulevard in Houma for all of your food service meats. Cajun Meat Market, where you can't beat Cajun meat.
All right, Martin Foss here. We've been through it before. We've stayed together. We've made it through. And we are going to bring you storm coverage. We're going to get you ready this morning. We're going to bring on public officials all morning. We're going to have the parish president, Mr. Jason Badgeron, on. We're going to have the sheriff, Tim Saunier, on. I'm sure we'll be connecting with Archie Chesson in Lafourche Parish. We are going to have people with the government coming on. We're going to have CPRA on with Gordon Dove. We're going to have school superintendents on. A lot of people are asking questions about that. We're going to have sandbag locations. We're going to have a little bit of everything as we sort of make it through this Monday morning. Now, I know everybody sort of caught off guard, but not really. I want to go to the map. We have the stick up. It is mounted and ready to go on this. Let me just tell you at this point, all right? And what I'm going to show you is something. I was hoping that this center of circulation would be closer to land, because then these sectors of the storm tend to keep it pulling westward. However, as far as I can tell, there's a definite center of circulation that is taking place right under the stick at this location. Now, I've moved the stick along to really western St. Mary, somewhere in that vicinity. But what's happening now, this center of circulation is moving in this direction. At one point, it's going to make a turn. How far of a turn it makes will determine where we end up here. So the point of reference with the stick right now is going to be western St. Mary into the New Iberia area, that general vicinity. We're going to keep it there until we see any changes. I may put a second stick here to show the trajectory that it's going currently, because when it makes that turn, it makes a big difference. Now, what does this mean for this area? It means a lot. We've always said, and this is a different angle approaching storm. This is not the general ones that we normally bring you coming up the Yucatan and bringing us a different direction. This is a whole different direction right here. So we are going to watch these winds. Anything west of Terrebonne Parish is naturally going to bring the strongest surge to Terrebonne and Lafourche and Grand Isle, depending on, as the crow flies, where the center of circulation ends up. Also, this thing is developing all around the eye. It's becoming pretty impressive, to say the least. There's going to be rain on all sides of it. You just don't want to be caught in that center of circulation, and wherever that goes. And I was talking to the CPR Chairman Gordon Dove this morning, because now his focus is on the whole coastline. The parish president of Terrebonne Parish, Jason Badgeron, I know has been running pumps feverishly in the parish for a couple of days now. So we're going to talk with him too. All things have been deployed. Keep in mind, as we keep our eye on the system, that we are inundated with water, especially in Terrebonne and Lafourche. We have got pummeled the last few days. Some parts up to 15 inches of rain. So standing water, you may say, well, the parish is doing a good job. They're going to pump that water out. Yeah, that looks good on the surface, but keep in mind, the grounds are saturated. They are saturated with a lot of water from these storms, so we're going to have to see, one, the reservoirs have to give us a fighting chance to make it through whatever happens here. So that is why it is so important where the storm ends up as dependent on how we're going to fare with this. Now, storm surge, we should be prepared, but we don't know how strong this thing is going to get. Like I said, I was talking with the CPRA chairman this morning. I told him expect it too, because I always go one up from what the National Weather Service says. I guarantee if I took every storm we've covered on HTV and I made that statement, about 80% of the time it stands correct, because I don't know why they just don't step it up and get people ready. Maybe they don't want to overemphasize some things. I just don't know the answer to that. I'm not going to assume why they do it. But the center of circulation is somewhere in this area where I'm pointing. We're going to watch it. The more separation it gets out here, the better it is for our viewing audience. It's not best for Houston. It's not best for Lake Charles. It's not best for Lafayette. If this thing starts hugging the stick somewhere in this area, then we have to keep all eyes on it. I'm going to take my first break. We're going to come back with more information. I'll read you some of the Weather Service information, the National Hurricane Center, and we will come back and bring you that in a short second.
My name is Jacob Oquan. I'm a captain with the Houma Fire Department. I've been here for 22 years. A firefighter is someone who's dedicated to service. He lives to serve. Just have something inside of them that no matter what, they won't stop till the job's done. That's a firefighter. They live for the job and they make a career. If you have a want to serve, a need to serve, you want to help people, you can be a fireman.
Do you or a loved one need help dealing with opioid use? There is help nearby. Go to opioidhelpla.org. There you will find medication and outpatient therapy nearby. Telehealth may be available. Uninsured or on Medicaid, there's help. You can be prescribed medication like Suboxone in an office-based opioid treatment site. You keep your job. You work toward a healthy lifestyle, and we help you recover. Opioidhelpla.org. Help is closer than you think.
Weights Downer. You or someone close to you has just lost a loved one to someone's negligence. How did this happen? And why is it so hard to get information? In times like these, there is one firm who has handled hundreds of catastrophic and lost earning cases. Before you settle fast with a company's attorney, give Weights Downer a call. 985-876-0870. Weights Downer.
Structural heart disease refers to a defect in the heart's valves, walls, or chambers that keeps the heart from pumping blood properly. Valve or structural heart problems may be present at birth or develop over time. Your risk increases if you have high blood pressure, plaque buildup, history of heart attack, take certain medications, or have certain heart infections. The Structural Heart Program at CIS and Terrebonne General provides innovative solutions and devices with the latest technology to bring the best possible outcomes for patients. Learn more at cardio.com.
All right, we are back. And just to let you know, we are going to have public officials coming on various times. They're just going to come in the studio, sit down. You know how it works up here. We're in storm mode. So when they come in, we bring them up. Sometimes they overlap and we have discussions. And we welcome all representatives. We want council people coming in, parish presidents. We want people at the levee districts coming in. We do have Miss Angela Hidalgo. She'll be in about 11:15. We got Mr. Travis Terrebonne with Gen Gators. I know they do segments with us. He's going to talk about generators, which we're going to need in full tilt. And it doesn't matter. He said it before. No matter who your service is with, he'll give you some good general information about your generators during this time. We're going to have monitoring sites. We have cameras set up. Maybe Jason could start going through those cameras as we speak. We're going to have cameras in Grand Isle, lower parts of the parish. We have some vehicles that are going to head towards St. Mary Parish. We'll also change that deployment if necessary, but we are going to absolutely try to bring you the best that we can. We'll be monitoring as Grand Isle right now as we speak, and let Jason sort of swing that camera around slow so we don't give you vertigo at home, because those cameras are very delicate. We have that camera positioned right pretty much in the center. Whoa, the center of Grand Isle. That's what I was talking about. They're very sensitive, but they give us great shots. As we look at Grand Isle, you remember during Ida when we saw that full-blown camp fly right in front of the camera and it took us out. Well, we have a camera now. Jay, show them that zoom on that camera where we can show them how far we can zoom in. We just deployed this. I want to thank the mayor of Grand Isle, David Carmondale, and all of his crew for working with us on that camera. We got it up. We can zoom in pretty good. Let's go down the highway, Jay, if we can, to give people a better view. The water sort of deceiving on how far we could zoom in. Let's pan right a little bit if we can. Just keep panning right, panning where you can see the street itself, and then we'll zoom into something. Just to show them, you know, what we do when we don't have a storm. We're always trying to think of ways to bring you, let's tilt down a little. These cameras are very finicky, folks, so we control them from here, and he's going to tilt down and show you that we can. And we normally set up. We're doing this live so you can just see what we do off screen sometimes. Look how far it's windy now. We got a little blustery day in Grand Isle, but and just to let you know, normally when the winds start picking up, we pull out on the camera a little bit because it's more forgiving. But then you'll see the raindrops come in and everything else. So we'll just leave it right there, Jay, if we can. And that way, anyone suffering with vertigo at home, we won't add to your problem here. But we're going to monitor the floodgates. We'll leave it on this shot, Jay, or maybe we could go back to the general map of the storm itself. And there you go. And I'm going to switch that as we talk. Let me switch that. I know you'll see some stuff on the air, folks, but let's see. I'm not sure. I think we lost one of them, so we'll stay on this. We lost one of our radar sites, but we'll just talk generally while you watch this. Bush Canal, floodgate, we'll watch H&C, we'll watch Bayou Grand Caillou, we'll watch Boudreaux Canal, Bayou Terrebonne, Sector Gate, Bayou Petit Caillou. Let's see, we'll watch Pointe-de-Chien, Humboldt Canal. Maybe Jay can work in some cameras. There we go. And that's the Bubba Dove. That's pretty recognizable by now for folks out there. And maybe Jay can label. I'm not sure if we can label those as we go, but we'll put some marks on them so you'll know during the event what we're actually looking at. And of course, some of these are solar driven. So for the last rain events, when we didn't have sun for 3 or 4 days, sometimes we lost connection because we didn't have enough power out there to drive them. But we had one day of sunshine to bring it back up. And so that's exactly what we did. We'll watch Fargo Canal for sure in this sector, because Fargo Canal is going to be one of those areas where we're definitely going to keep an eye on. Pointe-de-Chien Marina, Mormont Canal Structure, Grand Bayou Floodgate. Let me tell you about some sandbag locations as we continue to listen. I'm getting calls from public officials, so what I'm going to do, if you don't mind, you know how we do it here, folks. We try to keep it real. So as they are texting me, I'm typing in times when they should be here. So that's what we're going to do. It's like air traffic control. So Sandbag Station's now open. Fireman Skate Park, 161 Library Drive, located in parking lot between Skate Park and the main branch library. Adult Softball Complex, 9544 East Main Street, located in the parking lot in front of the softball fields. Residents must bring their own shovels. That's important. So once again, we'll get it. There you go, right there. Ask and you shall receive. The Fireman's Skate Park, 161 Library Drive, located in parking lot between Skate Park and Main Branch Library. Adult Softball Complex, 9544 East Main Street, located in the parking lot in front of the softball fields. All right, let's go back. And Jay, let's work on the Omega site too, because I seem to have lost it. Not sure if you can use yours from that end. My end over here is down and out. But let's talk while we're looking at some of these maps, okay? Tropical storm is in effect 4, and it gives you all the variables. I'm not going to read all those now because that's going to change. Tropical storm watch means that tropical storm conditions are possible within the watch area, generally within 48 hours. I'm going to get Jay to work on getting that cone up too so we can see the probabilities here. We're going to get a next advisory around 10 o'clock. So right now, I'm just going to tell you that there is a storm out there. There's a low pressure out there. And I'm going to try to go back to the map if I can. I want to show you something that I was noticing this morning. So Jay, if we could, yeah, he's on it. Let me switch to some of these. I'm going to go to an upper level water vapor map. And as you can tell, we have all the dry air is up here on the upper level. Now let me go to a lower level water vapor. All right, here we see something. You see this dry air trying to sneak in the northwest quadrant? That could disrupt this storm a little bit. That would be pretty good. Hopefully some of that dry air would wrap around in here. Could we be that lucky? I don't know. But this is quite telling. So this is the lower level water vapor. Now, you know, the upper level doesn't show you this, but certainly the lower level water vapor shows you some disruption on the northwest side. And let's just hope. We can only hope and pray. You see, the general movement of this right now is north. General movement of the center of circulation is north. Further north it gets, the better for us. But if it starts hugging the stick right here and comes up, I want to tell our friends in St. Mary Parish and, you know, New Iberia, Lafayette, be watching. If it generally moves or drifts a little more east, batten down the hatches in St. Mary, Terrebonne, and Lafourche Parish, Grand Isle. Keep your eye on it. Also, we are waiting for public officials. We know they're in meetings right now. We wanted to get ahead and try to give you some information. I know the parish president is going to be here as soon as he gets a chance. Jason Badron, the sheriff. Tim Saunier will be here. Let's go something. I noticed something on that thing real quick. I was trying to look right here. This could be very telling. I want to see if that's going to wrap around, but that time will tell that. We'll just have to keep an eye on that. Also, we're going to have Angela Hidalgo coming in representing the Levy District. We're going to have Gordon Dove in his new capacity as CPRA chairman. Now, he knows a lot about the parish. Those reins have been handed over to Jason Badron. But what I'm curious is he's looking regionally at putting rock barriers from western Louisiana all the way across eastern Louisiana. I want to know his thoughts on the progress of that, because let's go back to the Grand Isle camera if we can, Jason. They're working on Grand Isle with rocks right now. They've stepped that up. They've done a lot of different things. You heard the mayor talk about it quite a bit. They were able to move up rock placement in Grand Isle by about 2 years, because the Corps had said, no, it's going to be a 2.5-year process. And Gordon Dove and the mayor said that is unacceptable. And they got it passed a lot quicker. Now, that was through the governor did a lot to help. Jeff Landry did a lot to help with that process. So this is why you need some strong A personalities sometimes in office, because they can get the ball rolling. I know in circumstances like this, all hands on deck. Fire departments are moving around. The District Attorney Joe Wace has his investigators helping out with different things. Police Chief Travis Stereo, Chief Brian Zarang, Sheriff Tim Saunier, Sheriff Craig Weber, everybody's out and about. The folks in St. Mary, I'm sure, are keeping their eye on this storm as it moves in. And don't fall asleep on this one. And I guess the problem is when you don't have a bunch of days to get people ready, well, that's what happens. Then everybody starts scurrying a little bit, ourselves included. I mean, you don't plan, although we're always recognizing the fact that they can develop real quick, we never really plan on that every day because we have other programs to do. So when it happens, we switch gears. We go in hurricane mode, and we try to work in other shows as much as possible. We try to work in Sports on the Bayou, which we're going to have tomorrow morning. But once that's over again, we're back in complete hurricane mode, because we try to take care of the different sectors, and everybody needs relief sometimes. And sometimes the only way you get relief is you think football, you think a different show, because not everybody wants to tune in and see a map sort of that we're looking at this morning. So let's take another break. We're going to come back. The phone lines are open too if you want to call in, 879-1231. And there's a lot of people still trying to get water out of their yards. Once again, I reiterate, the parish president spoke with him yesterday by text, and he just told me they are pumping furiously in the parish trying to get water levels down, trying to get the reservoir areas up. We'll be back.
And as you can see behind me, the fury now is starting to happen. The wind's now probably a steady 30 miles per hour, and you'll get gusts from 40 to 45 miles per hour. Of course, that's probably the outer winds of the storm. And if this is the outer winds of the storm, believe me, I don't want to experience the fury of 140 mile per hour wind.
Don't go to sleep on this tonight and think you're going to wake up and it may be a 1 or it may be gone. Think of it as a 3 or a 4. Now let's track this hurricane, because all indications are it's coming right for Terrebonne and Lafourche.
My name is Cameron Quigley, and I've been a fireman for 11 years. Firefighter to me is a public servant who protects and serves the parish or city. So what I love about being a fireman is the brotherhood, the family, the adrenaline rush, having to wake up in the middle of the night, run a call, and help somebody that I have no idea who it is. And we're just doing what we have to do to help and serve everybody.
Hi, I'm Martin False, the owner of HTV, and I just wanted to thank my team, because each and every day we come in not always looking for the negative stories. We look for the positive stories. We have so many positive people and events that shape our area. So when you're tired of all the bad things happening in the world, tune into HTV for a little positive attitude. Thanks for viewing, and thanks to a great staff.
The recent oil spill on Bayou Lafourche has many wondering, how will this affect my health? What will this do to my property value? What if I make a living from these waters? At Waits & Downer, our years of experience puts us in a unique position to help you navigate through this impact. If you or a loved one has been affected by this spill, let our law firm help you out. Waits & Downer, helping you navigate through catastrophic impacts. Call us today at 985-876-0870.
All right, welcome back, and we're going to walk our way through this until the danger is over. We've been through this many, many times. I know people are getting nervous, and that's understandable. We understand that quite a bit. And so I just spoke with Robbie Lee from Terrebonne Parish, the Chief Communications Director. We're trying to get the parish president on by Zoom from the EOP. The Joe Waits EOP. Of course, that was named after Mr. Joe Waits, and who was such a prominent attorney here in the area, the father of our district attorney. And it's a nice building, and it bears a nice name. So we're going to try to get the parish president from there. Let's go back to the map if we can, Jay, and sort of show you, what we're looking at over here, and we'll get that up for you. There we have it. I think Jason's got to take some of that menu off, and when he does. Oh, is it locked, Jay? I can maneuver it if you can. All right. Well, let's get that up if we can. We'll wait on that, folks. There we go. All right. So I changed maps, but that's the general area that I'm targeting right now with the stick. That could shift. We're going to watch it as it shifts, and we'll move the stick for reference. But there is the worst of it all coming in there. Now, what does that mean for Terrebonne Parish? Let me just move this out a little bit, and then I'll reposition the map to coincide with that. I'll even go out further if we can. And let me reposition this general area. So what does this mean? It all depends. We're working on a graphic right now that'll show you wind direction. Remember, we had all wind directions from moving southeast towards us. Now we're getting one that's southwest towards us. So what does that mean for us? If the storm, comes up, and just follow my cursor, then you're going to have winds pounding Terrebonne and Lafourche Parish and Grand Isle. They'll be coming straight south, due north. So we're going to have Angela Hidalgo on with the Levy District to talk about that in the upcoming sections of our programming. So this is something we have to watch. We've been rehearsing and preparing for this as a community for many, many years. I'm going to go back to our regular map. This is, it's not a dress rehearsal. This is the real deal. So we're going to watch it. The storm surge depends on where it goes on shore. We could have anywhere from a 4-foot storm surge if it keeps west all the way up to an 8 or a 9 if it continues to barrel its way through, and depending on the intensity of the storm. So I know people like to lock in on storm surges. I'm not one of them, because how the heck do we know if this is going to be a 2 or a 3 or a 1? We don't know. Everybody thinks they know, but everybody gets it wrong. And so we don't have an exact science on how strong this storm is going to get. We do know that it's looking pretty doggone good right now. If you can see, let me stay on that map, Jay. I'm gonna put some circles right around where I think that center of circulation is popping, and it looks like we let it stop. Looks like it's right in this area. So let's track the direction of the. What's that, Jay? Okay, so let's see. Let me let it get to where it's going. I'm going to pause it. No, we'll let it keep going. But what I'll do, I'm going to put the arrow on it, and I'm going to show you the general direction of this storm right now. I'm following that general direction. Let's say northeast. And some may argue straight north. I'm just trying to track this. Let me look at it real hard. No, it's more of a northeast. All right, so the further we get separation, from this, and let me go to this. If we get this storm anywhere in this quadrant, it's going to be harder for it to make that turn towards St. Mary, Terrebonne, and Lafourche. Well, let me cheat on that a little bit. Let me go back. Let me undo this. But really, I went too far. If we get this storm, I would say anywhere in this sector, then we have a pretty good chance of avoiding direct impact. But if it shifts over and we get that storm in this sector, then all eyes on deck, all hands on deck. We got to watch it because it's going to be hugging that stick area, and the turn has started, and we're going to have to really keep an eye on what this thing does. So we're going to watch the winds. It's looking pretty impressive, folks. I want to see that 10 o'clock advisory because it's really forming around a center of circulation. And look at watch, I'm going to put a circle around the whole thing so that we can see it for sure. Look how impressive it is. Watch when it fills this circle up. And it even goes north of that. It's really getting its act together, and we're going to see some increase in that 10 o'clock advisory. Can guarantee you that. So let's watch it. So what should we be doing now? Preparing, getting your family safe, cleaning out your catch basins. You can help the parish, all the parishes. You can help Terrebonne, Lafourche, St. Mary by cleaning out the catch basins. Make sure they're clear. I call them, I was almost tempted to put it on Facebook yesterday, but as we take a look at the calm before the storm here down on Main Street in Terrebonne Parish, form some little posses in your neighborhood. I'm sure the parish president would love for you to go out with some little groups, clean the catch basins, and form some little water posses. Go out there and make sure everything is clear. Make sure the intakes are clear so that the systems work. They're going to be working on the bigger systems. There's no doubt about it. I know the parish president has been running 6 massive pumps the last couple of days from what I heard. And I know that Joey Seahan probably has been contacted by him. They're probably working on items of that nature. David Rome, all these guys do a great job. So I guess my point is, let's be the participants who keep this thing positive and moving. Sometimes we like to sit back and then we all get nervous and like to place some blame. Let's help out. We need you right now. We need everybody to help out and try to, make this thing happen. And I know we're moving different camera shots, and this is a good test for us too, because we're going to be deploying some of these camera shots as we move along. We're going to have 2 vehicles that are equipped with cameras that will be moving to whatever location we deploy them. And of course, we probably will be hugging closely with law enforcement, either sheriff's or police department, as we always do. That way we can get the shots we need to show you. And then we will target really St. Mary Parish, Terrebonne, and Lafourche, depending on what we see. Definitely, I don't see St. Mary getting out of being a targeted area just because of what's happening with this storm. So, all right, we're going to take a break. I know we're working on getting the parish president, Jason Bergeron, on Zoom. We'll be right back.
And as you can see behind me, the fury now is starting to happen. The wind's now probably a steady 30 miles per hour, and you'll get gusts from 40 to 45 miles per hour. Of course, that's probably the outer winds of the storm. And if this is the outer winds of the storm, believe me, I don't want to experience the fury of 140 mile per hour wind.
Don't go to sleep on this tonight and think you're going to wake up and it may be a 1 or it may be gone. Think of it as a 3 or a 4. Now let's track this hurricane because all indications are it's coming right for Terrebonne and Lafourche.
Weights and Downer. You or someone you know has lost the ability to earn a living because someone put the company interests before their well-being. In times like these, there's one firm who has handled hundreds of catastrophic and lost earning cases. Before you settle fast with a company's attorney, give Weights and Downer a call. 985-876-0870. Weights and Downer. Let us fight for your rights.
Structural heart disease refers to a defect in the heart's valves, walls, or chambers that keeps the heart from pumping blood properly. Valve or structural heart problems may be present at birth or develop over time. Your risk increases if you have high blood pressure, plaque buildup, history of heart attack, take certain medications, or have certain heart infections. The Structural Heart Program at CIS and Terrebonne General provides innovative solutions and devices with the latest technology to bring the best possible outcomes for patients. Learn more at cardio.com.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra, available with the connected driving experience and the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Or get $3,500 purchase cash on select GMC Sierra models. Or get a total of $6,000 purchase allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
See your local GMC dealer.
Hi, I'm Martin False, the owner of HTV, and I just wanted to thank my team because each and every day we come in not always looking for the negative stories. We look for the positive stories. We have so many positive people and events that shape our area. So when you're tired of all the bad things happening in the world, tune into HTV for a little positive attitude. Thanks for viewing, and thanks to a great staff.
530M mower. Not because of its superior comfort or because of its precise cut. Not even because of how fast it gets the job done. You just have to get in the seat. Because fresh cut grass smells a whole lot better in real life.
All right, welcome back. We appreciate it. We're going to get our act together. We are awaiting the parish president of Terrebonne Parish. He's going to join us by Zoom, and we're going to talk about a few different things. I'm sure he's going to bring up sandbag locations too, because a lot of people want to get some sand, but you got to bring your own shovel and do your own stuff. That's important. And we're also putting a graphic together because a lot of people will say, well, okay, what's the difference between a West St. Mary hit or a Lafayette hit or a just west of Terrebonne hit? What's the difference in Terrebonne? There's a lot of difference. There's a lot of difference in your surge is a lot of different in your magnitude of winds pushing the surge. When you move, 20 to 30 miles away from the center of a storm, it makes a big difference. However, we're going to put those together. We're going to show you a Houma hit. We're going to show you a St. Mary hit. And we're going to show you a little more west. We'll show you a Lafourche hit. I mean, a Lafourche, which is kind of skirting it because they're right on this angle. A Terrebonne hit is a Lafourche hit. So I'm saying if we moved a little further east, then that makes a difference in Terrebonne Parish too. Probably a little better of a difference. Let's go to the map, Jay, if we can again. So I guess what I'm trying to say is to just watch as this comes up. And we'll have a graphic to show you this. But if this comes in the Lafayette area, all these winds are going to be wrapping around. So we're going to have southwest winds coming in, south winds coming in, and they're going to be pushing surge directly on the southern part of Terrebonne Parish. Now, the center of this is the big winds, okay? And I'm going to mark that so you can see. This is why it's so important. This area, let me let it play out, and I'll put it down. Do that one more time for you folks. All right, let's play it out here. This is the area we want to avoid in this storm. This is where you have your Cat 1 or Cat 2, and you'll have gust higher coming in. Wherever that goes over, it's not only a surge, it's the wind damage that goes with it. It's also the rain bands will extend far east of this storm. As you can tell, the difference between, and I'll dictate that to you right now, from the center here to the edge, and from the center here to the edge. Look at the difference. So that eastern quadrant is notorious for being the worst side. So if this goes in on St. Mary, Terrebonne, and Lafourche, and Grand Isle get the east side. If this goes right above Terrebonne, then Lafourche, Grand Isle get the bad side, but Terrebonne gets the winds. So this is going to be a rainy sector too. Right here, we're going to see a lot of tropical rain falling from this. Do we have someone on the line, Jay? I'm looking. Who is it, Jay? Okay, we'll take a call right now while waiting for the parish president to log in. HTV, you're on the air. Go ahead, please. Hello.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm fine. And you?
I'm doing okay. We just we've been down this rodeo a few times before, so we're trying to see what it's gonna do.
Yes, I was just wanting to know, was it hitting home?
Well, where do you live in home? You in the east side, west side? I'm just curious.
On the east side. East side.
Okay. We don't know yet. We're waiting for it to sort of make its move and sort of set its course, but I would plan on it hitting Terrebonne Parish because we're going to get, something out of this storm, whether it's 75, 80 mile per hour winds or 40 or 50 mile per hour winds. I'm not sure, but we're going to get something. But you're definitely going to get some, a lot of rain. So were you in an area that was inundated with water the last few days?
No.
Okay. So you're high up or you feel like you're safe in a good area?
I'm on Grand Caillou Road.
Okay. So it depends on what part of Grand Caillou you're located in, of course. The further down you go, becomes more problematic.
I'm around the Turner.
Okay, I got you. Well, you should be good, but we just don't know the exact hit point of this storm. We don't know where it's going to go over. So you're going to have to keep tuning in, and we're going to try to keep you up to date on where exactly the center of circulation is going to be, and then I can give you more information.
Okay.
Fair enough?
Thank you. Yeah.
All right.
Good.
Thank you. I appreciate you calling. Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Jay, was that the latest path? Yeah. Okay, they're going to update it at 10, right? Okay, City of Thibodaux. In preparation for this upcoming tropical event, the City of Thibodaux's Public Works, you can go back to the map, Jay, to let people focus in on that. Public Works and Parks departments are removing debris and cleaning out catch basins at the Public Works barn located at 1219 Henry Street, Henry S. Thibodaux Street. A self-fill sandbag station will be open to residents starting today. Residents should bring their own shovel to fill their sandbags. Also, residents should be making their own preparations at home to prepare for the tropical weather and clean out their drains. Please view the link below for the City of Thibodaux's Emergency Preparedness Guide to assist in your at-home preparations. The City of Thibodaux will continue to give updates on this upcoming storm as it develops throughout the coming days. That comes from the Mayor, Kevin Claymon. And Jay, that's another good one we could get on, because we do care about our sister city in Thibodaux and Lafourche, and we want to make sure everybody's taken care of. But there you see it, folks. The eastern side of this center of circulation is developing real nicely. It has a complete wraparound, and we're just going to have to watch it. We are going to see exactly at 10 o'clock the next advisory, what they're calling for. We'll try to get you a strike path, a cone. Remember, that cone is a cone for a reason. You look at the left and the right side, and sometimes they show you right in the middle. I would just, if you're in the cone, prepare to be hit and prepare for the worst. And that way, if you get the better, it's all good. So let's go back to the map. Let me see if I can go back to the, we'll go back to the Omega map. Let me clear that off right here. So right now, if we take the Omega map and we lay it down over the stick, that's sort of what we're feeling at this point, what they're all calling for. Does that mean that's where it's going to be? Not necessarily. We're just using it as a reference. We will track it as it starts to turn, and we will move it accordingly. Anything to the west, I used to say this all the time, but this is a different direction. So anything to the left of, and let me get something to point with here. Anything to the left of the stick is going to drive that northeast quadrant into Terrebonne Parish. All right. Now, the western part of Terrebonne is going to experience hurricane force winds. However, the eastern side of Terrebonne Parish would not. So Houma proper may not. If this thing rides straight up the middle of the stick, all of Terrebonne Parish is going to be in that northeastern quadrant. And parts of Lafourche will be in that northeast quadrant. So Grand Isle would miss the strongest winds. However, if the bullseye becomes Terrebonne Parish, then Terrebonne gets the full brunt of the winds, and Lafourche gets a strong surge. Grand Isle gets a strong surge, and then they experience 50 to 60 mile per hour winds as well. So this one's a different scenario because there's so much. I mean, look, we've said this so much before, that Grand Isle is really the barrier for this whole area when it's coming from this direction. But it's not. It's coming from southwest, so it's a whole different game. Now, the CPRA chairman, Gordon Dove, former parish president and former state rep, he is in charge of protecting this whole coastline. And I know he's going to come on about 10. We got all hands on deck here. He's going to talk about the state program because we got the parish president, Jason Badgerow, now. He's elected. He's in charge of the local sector, the local parish. We have Archie Chesson in charge of Lafourche. And we're going to be talking with them as well. And we're waiting for all of them to come out of meetings. Remember, they're in meetings. They're trying to get a hold of this. So we're going to start getting a lot of information coming up in short order. So in about maybe 10 minutes or less, who's that, Jay? All right, we'll start getting inundated with public officials, which is what we want. HTV, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I'm wondering about what the intensity of the storm's going to be, you think? Like a 1 or a 2? I know it weakens when it comes on shore, but like what you thinking?
I'm thinking a 2. I always think bigger than what the National Weather Service comes out, because if you remember during Hurricane Cindy, when me and Jimmy the Gate were on the news desk and we were reading buoys, we kept saying, this is a 2. And the National Weather Service said, no, it's a low 1. Well, they changed it to 2 after the storm had passed and was gone. But I just feel they miss a lot. I don't know why, but they miss a lot.
Ida was a 5. And
Yeah, I agree. And they refused to make it a 5. But we sat here in the same studio I'm talking to you from for 6 or 7 hours dealing with those demonic winds. And there's no doubt in my mind that Ida was a 5. So
yeah.
I say prepare for a 2. I would even stretch and say prepare for a 3. Because the way this storm is starting to pull itself together, and let me go back to that. I'll show you what I'm talking about if I can. Jay, for some reason, I got the parish officials coming in right now. Jay, we'll come back, but let's, got the sheriff, we got the parish president coming up, and we're going to bring them straight on the desk here live if we can. And so we'll do that. Good to see you guys. I know y'all been in meetings. Good morning.
Morning.
Sheriff, good morning to you.
You know, fancy on it.
We're live, so I'm going to just let y'all sit down. And like I tell you, folks, we do things, we sort of
Is this your new layout, or is this just the Saints on the Bayou set up?
Well, we're getting ready for the Sports on the Bayou. So I have the sheriff with me now, I have the parish president, Mr. Jason Badgerow. So I know y'all been in meetings, and ma'am, I know you, well, she left the phone so we could give us some good information. What's the meetings like this morning? What are we looking at? What do y'all think?
Well, it's definitely tracked a little more east. You know, we've got an update coming out at 10 o'clock. What I've seen is the eye over Lafayette right now, maybe a little bit east or west of that. But again, the updates will come out at 10 o'clock to have more information. We're going to declare a state of emergency, Terrell Parish. And we're going to have more updates after the 1:30 call we have with GOSEP about what evacuations and, you know, any other items that we normally cover, what that's going to look like.
Yeah. Sheriff, you know, I've had you on the desk quite a bit over the years, and, you know, the callers that we've had this morning, I can't really, you know, I don't ever go by what the National Weather Service says. If they say it's a 1, I say prepare for a 2 or 3.
That's exactly our plan. I said that this morning. I said if it's a 1, we're going to be prepared for a 2. I have my officers effective Wednesday morning, full force, normal hurricane schedule, where I'm going to have massive amounts of officers out there. Of course, I've talked to the levee district, some of the gates, roller gates. We use that as natural barriers so we can monitor south of the Morganza for protecting people's property, and we're going to be doing that officially Wednesday morning. Of course, there's going to be we're going to have a lot more out there tonight and tomorrow, because we anticipate people kind of getting prepared. So we're going to have a little bit more manpower out there tonight. But more importantly, Wednesday, we're going to be out in full force until further notice, until this thing passes and we get back to normal.
And this is such a tricky one, because Jay, go to the map that I have up right now. If we can just switch to that. This is a tricky one, because at this point, look how this thing has just organized. I mean, that thing's getting pretty.
Yes.
We don't use the word pretty lightly here on the desk, but it's getting pretty. But we don't know. Right now, it's moving northeast. The further it gets away from that stick is beautiful. But if it starts hugging that area, then it becomes problematic. Let me ask you, And I know, Mr. President, y'all been pumping feverishly for the last few days. How's that going?
Well, I mean, look, I passed this morning. There's a lot of warm bites airborne, but the thing I like to make sure I dispel is, when we have rain events, we have our permitted heights, but once we have a potential rain event, and we've had a few of them this year, we're pumping below that. So I can guarantee we're pumping below that. I can guarantee the pump's always on. We have SCADA systems that tell us what's running, what's not running. Some of the pumps are automatic with floats that if it gets to a certain height, they automatically kick on. But everything is pumping full force. We're doing everything we can to get as much water out of the system as we do it. And then, we announced a couple sandbag locations yesterday. That is part of an ongoing effort that we're going to have 2 permanent sandbag locations year round. That's going to be at the sports park on the east side, at the Air Base Park, and then at the Civic Center. So year round, we're going to have a couple spots. You can get sandbags whenever you feel like you need them. We're rolling out more sandbag locations this morning, and we're going to have a map that shows all that coming out. But 15, 20 sandbag locations, all that's happening today, and we are working with those that are disabled. The sheriff's office, we partner together, and we're going to get some bags at our normal place on Grand Calle for those that are disabled that need help with sandbags. And so all that's happening, and all that's in full force.
Yeah, y'all got several sandbag locations, like you said, and I will let our team in the control room know these locations, but it looks like roughly y'all have, 16 or 17. Yeah, locations or whatever. Sheriff, what are you sensing out there with the people? Like I said, this isn't your first rodeo, and you're a seasoned veteran now. We had so many the first year. You became seasoned real quick, but what's the sense with the people? After Ida, what do you feel?
I received a few calls. I think everybody's still got that Ida fear. But like any storm, we don't take it lightly, and we're trying to stay ahead of the game and what's delivered. Like I said, I had a conversation with my guys this morning in a staff meeting. I said, well, we prepare for a Category 2. Do I think it's going to get to Category 1? Yeah. But if it makes it to 2 and it jogs a little more to the east, we have to be prepared for that. So we've made all of our preparations there with my people, and getting into that rotation. Like I said, Wednesday morning, we're going to be out there total full force in hurricane preparedness mode to be dealing with out there for the public for last minute people trying to get things taken care of. Like normal, I'd say make sure you have adequate medication, top your fuel tanks off, batteries, water, the normal preparations like any storm season. Make sure everybody has that in case they have to leave or evacuate. I'm hoping things are going to be more on the positive side. I think that high pressure is kind of going to make it move pretty fast. So if we do get rain, hopefully it's going to be pretty swift and fast. But the last models I see, probably about Thursday afternoon is going to be clearing up. So hopefully we're looking at that.
Yeah, let me show y'all something I was looking at a while ago. Watch, let's keep it on that, Jay, on this map. Look how terrible. This is impressive, but watch. As we go to the upper level, water vapor, and let me, it's Francine now, it's official. It
is official?
Yeah. So let me see, Jim. I got to turn this off. I'm going to show you something, though. All right, upper. So look at your upper level. There's your cold air. Upper levels is pretty. This is doing pretty good. Now watch when I go to the lower. Look at the dry air. If that thing can pull in some dry air and shear,
it'll help.
It helps. That's quite a bit. So it's that's some pretty good imagery that we're getting. Anything to shear this thing, but this northeast quadrant still looks pretty good. You remember those storms when your first year you were on, Sheriff, that were getting pummeled on the west side, but they kept the northeast side.
That's it.
So that's it. But Jason, let me ask you this. Let me go back to the long way. Of course, as this thing comes in, it makes a big difference on surge too. It's the worst of both situations. If it comes straight over Terrebonne, we get the winds. But Lafourche and Grand Isle get the big surge, but we get the winds. If it goes in St. Mary Parish, we get 50-mile-an-hour winds, but we get the surge. So this direction is sort of problematic, isn't it?
Yeah, even 5 miles, you look at what I did with Grand Isle. A mile made a difference on devastation. So we're going to keep an eye on it. The gates are already starting to be closed by the levee district, with that final one being Bubba Dove. Once we get that, now we get that named storm. Now we look at surge, and I definitely think we're going to get that closed sooner rather than later. I think it's also important to point out, a couple of things. One, Tim had talked about evacuations. If we get to that level, please make sure that, you take care of your property last, your family first. Tim and I are both committed to making sure that you can get back to your property if you do have to evacuate from it. And so it's just really important. The sheriff's office, HPD is all going to be out patrolling. We have a zero tolerance policy when it comes to looters. So make sure you protect your family. And then from there, clean up stuff in your yard. For multiple reasons. One, blow-in debris, but also that stuff that's in the yard. We'll get into drainage, we'll clog drainage areas, and so we just want to make sure if you got anything lying around, anything needs to be cleaned up, please get that tidied up. I know we're getting a lot of calls for debris pickups. We're going to try to get as many as we can, but this is all stuff we need to do before the storm's even coming to make sure that, all this debris, all this stuff that could clog drains or fly around and hit houses or property, that we handle all that before, but let's make sure we get it done now.
Let's give you all the latest advisory. Okay, let's see. Becomes Tropical Storm Francine. And let's go to it is maximum sustained winds 50 miles per hour. Present movement northwest, which is what we showed a little while ago. And let's see where they predict they just becomes a hurricane before it reaches northwest. I'm just going through this real quick. I'll read it more in depth to the viewers. I'm just trying to look. Hurricane by 7 p.m. tomorrow night. So pretty much what they said, but like once again, just count on there's the cone. Everybody says, well, we're not in the middle of the cone. Play like we're in the middle of the cone. Play like we're dead in the middle of that cone. We say it all the time. And to the parish president and sheriff this morning, we were telling everybody, go out right now and clean those catch basins. Man, clean them, and be a water posse, and you could use all the help you could get on that, can't you?
Yes, we can. If you can. And we told everybody, if you see something, say something. We get a lot of reports last few days just about things that were clogged, and our crews have been out, prior to this event. We cleaned over 600 catch basins and about 43 culverts. So they've been constantly working hard all weekend to make sure we get as much water out as possible.
Sheriff, what's the wind speed as we look at downtown Terrebonne Parish? We're going to be showing you cameras all over. We have 2 camera vehicles that will be deployed sometime tomorrow. No use to do it now. I mean, that'd be showing off at this point. We just want to wait till we have something to show you. What's the wind speed? Is it still 35? It used to always be 35, where it's safe to be out there?
Yeah, 30, 35. Looking at the storm as that thing makes landfall and a current track, my area of concern is obviously south of Morganza, but you're looking at sustained. I think at that point in time, it does weaken from the 50, but you're looking about 37, 38 mile an hour sustained with 50 plus mile an hour gust. And that wind's just pushing it's going to be pushing out of southwest, and then as it makes landfalls, then it's going to kind of shift to the southeast. But it's still coming from the south, and it's going to be pushing up south of the Morganza. But we're looking, from the last update I saw a couple hours ago, we're looking at 37, 38 miles an hour with 51, 52 mile an hour gust.
All right. Now, let me ask you this, Jason, if I can. I know this is so hard to answer because we don't know exactly where it's coming in, but what are we expecting storm surge was?
So one thing that we talked about this with EOC this morning, I think they're getting real good at where it's going to come in. It's that strength that everybody doesn't know, right? So, depending, again, if it's Lafayette, Morgan City, 2 to 4, could be 4 to 6, I think in some areas, depending on, again, like you were talking about, if the wind shear gets in there. So I like the fact that we always plan for a category up, plan for that 2, and hopefully it's that 1. And maybe even less than that. But yeah, it's definitely like Tim talked about, south of the Morganza system, anybody outside the levee system, on a good south wind, they have concerns. So it's something that, definitely start looking at all that and be prepared as we're going to eventually close everything outside the levee system. The levee system will be closed off at a certain point, including the roller gates and a couple spots that we save for last. So I just start working on making sure you get all that stuff up to Bahia as much as you need to or can in these next couple of days.
It's not our first rodeo, huh?
No, sir, it's not.
Yeah.
Just on a note, I talked to school superintendent. He's looking at those times now with the school closures. He's looking at that right now.
Yeah, I think they're going to make a decision on that after lunch.
Yes, sir.
Today, right? Yeah, so we'll know that. But I know you'll have a lot of things to do. Just keep in touch with us and let us know. And thank y'all for serving, and thank y'all for your help. And God bless all of you. I know y'all got a lot of workers out there too.
Yes. Well, thank you for informing everybody, keeping everybody connected. We're all in constant communication. I know we're going to have a call, I guess, kind of 1:30 is going to be a real determining factor moving forward, and make sure everybody heard I am declaring a state of emergency. But, we hope the state and our federal government does the same. Understand the state's going to do it. We need all those to come together to get some funding for all this work that we're doing to make sure that everybody's protected. And again, if you don't need to be on the road, stay off the road. Get your supplies you need to get, but be prepared to hunker down as we get closer.
Yeah, that state of emergency allows you to spend a little more money.
It does. Hopefully we get it reimbursed.
Yeah,
though.
you're right. No doubt about that. Sheriff, thank you too. I know you got a lot of crews out there too. We appreciate what you do.
I'll be making my rounds starting tonight. That's the norm.
All right. The parish president and the sheriff here, we appreciate them. And there's going to be another meeting at 1:30, you said?
Yes.
And we'll look forward to getting a little more information. After that, we'll take a break. We'll be back with more. Don't go away. Tropical Storm Francine.
And as you can see behind me, the fury now is starting to happen. The wind's now probably a steady 30 miles per hour, and you'll get gusts from 40 to 45 miles per hour. Of course, that's probably the outer winds of the storm. And if this is the outer winds of the storm, believe me, I don't want to experience the fury of 140 mile per hour wind.
Don't go to sleep on this tonight and think you're going to wake up and it may be a 1 or it may be gone. Think of it as a 3 or a 4.
Now let's track this hurricane because all indications are it's coming right for Terrebonne and Lafourche.
Weights and Downer. You or someone close to you has just lost a loved one to someone's negligence. How did this happen? And why is it so hard to get information? In times like these, there is one firm who has handled hundreds of catastrophic and lost earning cases. Before you settle fast with a company's attorney, give Weights and Downer a call. 985-876-0870. Weights and Downer.
Terrebonne Parish School District is seeking individuals for the following maintenance positions: licensed plumber, electrician, carpenter, HVAC techs with chiller experience, HVAC techs with general experience. These positions have great work environment, excellent benefits, retirement, and insurance. Apply online at tpsd.org. Terrebonne Parish School District, a great place to work.
GenGators Power Systems is the area's leading Kohler standby generator solution, specializing in maintenance, repair, and installation on all major brands, from gas to diesel and 2kW to 2000. Home or commercial, our team has you covered. Our factory-certified technicians and installers are highly trained to provide response and repair when you need it the most. We service what we sell, period. Trust the GenGators, where we sink our teeth into service.
At Terrebonne General Multi-Specialty Clinic, we're dedicated to your well-being. Our expert team of healthcare professionals offers convenient, comprehensive medical care in one trusted location. Whether you're dealing with common illnesses like diabetes, breathing issues, or need help managing your health, our caring and knowledgeable staff are here to treat your symptoms. Call 985-873-4729 or visit tghealthsystem.com to schedule your same or next day appointment.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra, available with the connected driving experience and the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Or get $3,500 purchase cash on select GMC Sierra models. Or get a total of $6,000 purchase allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
See your local GMC dealer.
All right, welcome back. You just heard from the parish president of Terrebonne Parish, the sheriff. They both walked in together. You know how that works. You come in, you sit down, and we have a conversation. So that's important. And it's always been a transparent situation here in the news desk. Whoever wants to come in, councilmen, councilwomen, state reps, governor can call in. Anybody, you see the number on the bottom. People could call in, 879-1231, 879-1231. Now, coming up, we have Levy District. We have Miss Angela Hidalgo will be on, talk about the Levy District and the closures and what's still open and that kind of stuff. We will also have St. Mary officials that my crew is lining up to come on. That's important also. Jay, did we ever talk to the mayor of Grand Isle and the parish president of Lafourche? All right, we're going to try to get David Carmadell on. We'll try to get Archie Chess on, and we're going to try to get even the mayor, Kevin Claymont. We're going to try to get as many voices to you as possible. The school districts will let us know after lunch whether or not school's going to fly or not. Depends on where the thing is going, right? Okay, so we'll keep an eye on that. Let's go back to the map if we can, and we will look at the situation at hand. We knew it was going to happen. Things got pretty. But once again, we can only hope. Let me go back to that lower level water vapor loop where we see some dry air. Come on, pull it in. Pull it in. That's some shear. But what will that do to it? I don't know if it'll do much of anything, but hey, we can hope for anything, right? HTV, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hey, good morning, Martin. Archie Shefflin here. How are you?
Hey, Mr. Parish President, how are you doing?
You know, just another normal conversation with you about yet another disaster.
Well, you were right. Hey, we're going to go get a drink one day and just say to hell with it, right?
No doubt. No doubt.
God almighty, this is unbelievable. I know, well, I can honestly say, talking to you, that this isn't your first storm. I mean, you've been through oil spills, you've been through hurricanes, you've been through a little bit of everything. So what's happening in Lafourche? What you got right now?
So, you know, I think our gut is we're going to see some sort of track over, you know, a little bit west of Morgan City, and it's going to jump over parts of Terrebonne and northern Lafourche and have impacts, you know, all the way down south. But, you know, we started our preparations early this morning. When I got here this morning, they already had the emergency declaration waiting on my desk to sign. So we issued a declaration of emergency at about 8 o'clock this morning just to open up some triggers for us. Our public works crews, all of our supervisors are in the room across the hall from me right now, meeting internally about sandbags and sites, all the normal stuff we start to deal with, getting equipment back to the field offices and starting to stage things in certain areas that we know we're going to need. You know, we have our first weather call with the weather service at 11 o'clock this morning. So we'll get some updated information on tracks and intensity and storm surge models. And then we have our internal parish call shortly after that this afternoon to start talking to, you know, our partners at the Sheriff's Office, Port Fourchon Harbor Police, you know, of course, our school system and the diocese schools to try to figure out what their schedules are. And at that point, we'll make decisions about, you know, shelters and evacuations and things like that. I fully expect to pull some of those triggers. You know, we still have quite a few families in temporary housing in those FEMA units and camper trailers. So we're going to open up a shelter for those guys and anybody else who thinks they need one that may not be comfortable in their mobile home or whatever else they have. So that'll be all forthcoming this afternoon. And then at that point, we'll get back into the office tomorrow, finish up our last-minute preparations. The models that we saw this morning kind of sped it up a little bit. Instead of kind of a late Wednesday night landfall, it looks like we may get some impacts more closer to mid-afternoon. And then it's a fast-moving storm, Martin, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
So hopefully by Thursday morning, that this thing's out of here and we're dealing with, you know, just any lingering after effects.
I don't know if you saw when I was showing that lower water vapor, that this dry air on the lower levels, it's trying to suck in some dry air. On the upper levels, it looks like a pretty well-defined storm with dry air abroad north of it. But hey, we can take any help we can get. Now, as we all know, that's where I had it sort of going, was West St. Mary. But that makes a big difference for you guys as far as explain to the people, because Upper Lafourche naturally is right in the path, but Lower Lafourche, wind-wise, it would make a big difference, but you still got to prepare for surge.
Yeah, no doubt. And, this is, the farther west it goes, the more impacts we're going to see in South Lafourche from tides and storm surge will be, similar to a Rita event that didn't really come anywhere near us, but caused some water impacts for South Lafourche. The more east it gets, that's when the winds begin to kick up. We get those eastern bands. There's a higher potential for tornadoes and stuff like that. So the farther west the thing stays, the much better it's going to be for us. The farther east the track shifts, and if you look at a lot of those European model runs, a lot of those lines, those spaghetti strands, are starting to set up on the east side of where your stick is. I'm looking at the TV screen.
Yeah.
That's not really a great thing for us, but we'll have to continue to watch it. The center is just starting to circulate, so a lot of these model runs are still guessing as that system continues to develop. So I would venture to guess at the 4 o'clock run this afternoon and again the 10 o'clock run tonight. Once that center gets well defined, is when we're really going to see that track on in. But we know it's going to impact this morning. It's just a wood degree. So the message that we're going to continue to push this morning is now's the time to get that game plan. Really, start to think about where you're going, what you're going to do. Start to pick up all those loose items around your yard. For a vast majority of the parish, trash is going to run today and tomorrow, so make sure those garbage cans are wheeled in. Put them in a safe spot so they don't end up in a ditch or a culvert, something like that. Start to close your shutters, board up your windows, all that fun stuff. If you're going to make a grocery run to get water and canned goods and stuff like that, gasoline that you may need if you're going to run a generator, or a diesel, or if you have one of those newer tri-fuel generators that you're going to run off of propane, make sure you have those bottles filled. And on the back end of this, remember that generator safety stuff. Don't put it near a window or your air conditioning intakes. Make sure it's in a well-ventilated area. Don't put it inside your house. All of the fun stuff we're going to preach over the next couple of days to keep people safe, not only during the event, but that we don't have any sort of fatality from carbon monoxide after the event.
Yeah, we have Travis Terrebonne coming in from Gen Gators in a little while to talk about generators in general. And that's a good point you make, because we've lost people before because of the carbon monoxide. So that's something very serious to deal with.
Yeah, no doubt. And Travis does a great job for us taking care of all of our generators, both personally and professionally. So I'm glad you're going to have him come on and talk about a lot of that stuff so we don't end up with a house catching fire, unfortunate fatality from carbon monoxide or something like that.
Yeah. Anything else we need to leave them with? I know you're inundated, but I know you will call us from time to time to check in. But we just got to see the path now, right?
That's right. It's just kind of I hate to say it, but a wait-and-see game as we get closer this afternoon and that eye wall sets up and we get a pretty good track. But, again, just start to think about those preparations, start to think about, where you're going to hunker down at, if it's at our shelter, at a family member's house, or in your own house. And just, as I always say, hug your kids and say a prayer, Martin.
Yeah. What's the best-case scenario for y'all? I mean, as far thinking of the proximity, if it's a little east of y'all, a little west, tell the folks what's your best. I know whenever you hope for this, you sort of throw your neighbors under the bus, but what's the best scenario for Lafourche Parish?
The best scenario is somewhere west of Lake Charles, where we get a little bit of tidal influence. The major impacts are going to be south of the floodgate on the old port of LA1 and around the port. But the port really stays high and dry in a lot of cases because they're so elevated. So the more west it goes, the better it sets up. The less winds we have, a lot of those winds are going to stay west of Morgan City, which is really good for us. But again, as that track shifts a little bit east, we get closer and closer to the eye wall. Is the worst case scenario for us.
All right, Mr. Parish President, we appreciate you joining us, and keep us tuned in, and stay safe, and thank you for what you do. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Martin.
All right, we will take a short break. We will come back a lot more on our live coverage. Tropical Storm Francine. It will be a hurricane in short order, so we will start. What's that, Jay? Okay, yeah, he's switching. So once again, this is real, folks. We're taking direction as we go and preparing to get other people on. So we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll have a lot more as we continue to track this storm, and we'll bring it till it's past us and we're safe.
And as you can see behind me, the fury now is starting to happen. The wind's now probably a steady 30 miles per hour, and you'll get gusts from 40 to 45 miles per hour. Of course, that's probably the outer winds of the storm, and if this is the outer winds of the storm, believe me, I don't want to experience the fury of 140 mile per hour wind.
Don't go to sleep on this tonight and think you're going to wake up and it may be a 1 or it may be gone. Think of it as a 3 or a 4. Now let's track this hurricane because all indications are it's coming right for Terrebonne and Lafourche.
Welcome to the Cypress Stop, your new Phillips 66 on the corner of 311 and Savan Road. We have all your breakfast, lunch, and dinner needs with smoked ribs, smoked chicken, boudin, homemade pulled pork, and daily plate lunches. We have a very large selection of white wines, red wines, liquors, beer, tobacco, and premium cigars. Going fishing? We have your bait and tackle and the ice to keep your catch cool. Cypress Stop, home of the happy customer.
Welcome to Home Outlet. What brings you in today?
Save 20% on your fall project. Break up with your big box store and come see our new look at Home Outlet in Gray during our grand reopening to save 20% September 12th through 14th. Save on quality kitchens, baths, floors, and more.
All in stock with hundreds more available and at the guaranteed lowest price.
Home Outlet is your home store.
Home Outlet, 100% employee owned.
Headaches are often caused by faulty nerve signals from the spine. The pain and pounding can be intense, obliterating your ability to think or even function. Don't live with headaches and neck pain. Our non-surgical, cutting-edge procedures can reduce or even eliminate headaches.
Tired of taking medications? Let's talk about your options and free yourself from pain.
So many in our communities are still rebuilding their homes from Hurricanes Laura and Ida, and even more since the recent severe weather damage. The Disaster Justice Network is a nonprofit initiative committed to arming Louisiana residents with the information they need to make sure their homes are rebuilt correctly and to have the tools to do it. Visit www.disasterjusticenetwork.org or scan this QR code for more information.
Selecting an insurance provider for your business is a big decision.
With over 26 years of experience, our Offered team is your solution for quality and proven coverage.
The customer service you remember from years ago is what we pride our team on.
We know how important your company is to the community.
From small businesses to large businesses, Alford & Associates can manage your insurance. It's our job.
Alford & Associates, benefiting your employees and protecting your business.
Broussard's Automotive Repair and Tires, your trusted destination for automotive excellence in Houma. We proudly feature the ASC certified expertise of our team with an ASC Master Certified Mechanic always on duty. Locally owned and operated, Broussard's Automotive Repair and Tires is committed to ensuring your vehicle runs smoothly and safely. Our hours are 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday and 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday. Broussard's Automotive Repair and Tires. Quality service at a great price.
All right, welcome back. I also want to thank my hard-working crew here at HTV that does a great job all the time, but during storms, hey, sort of what we do, sort of what we've become known for over all the years, and we appreciate the fact that we're able to bring you as much information as we can. And sometimes we don't have all the fancy equipment that some of the big guys do, but we bring it to you simple and real. So we're going to continue to try to do that. All right, let's go to the map, Jay, and I'm going to read the full advisory. We're waiting on another advisory to come in, but let's go back to the map. We'll hold it on that while I read this. A storm surge watch has been issued from east of High Island, Texas, eastward to the Mississippi-Alabama border, including Vermilion Bay, Lake Maurepas, and Lake Pontchartrain. A hurricane watch has been issued from Cameron eastward to Grand Isle in Louisiana. Tropical storm watch has been issued east of High Island, Texas to Cameron and from Grand Isle to the mouth of the Pearl River, including Lake Pontchartrain and Lake Maurepas. A storm surge watch is in effect for High Island, Texas to the Mississippi-Alabama border, and Vermilion Bay, Lake Maurepas, Lake Pontchartrain. And we just talked about the hurricane watch. Let me move on to this a little bit. Let me go to the discussion and outlook from the National Weather Service. At 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, the center of Tropical Storm Francine was located near latitude 23 north, longitude 94.9 west. Francine is moving toward the northwest near 5 miles per hour. We showed you that very early on, so it was quite obvious to us what was happening. And a slow northwestern motion is expected for the remainder of the day, followed by a faster motion to the northeast beginning on Tuesday. That's very telling. They expected to go northwestern for the remainder of the day. Then it's going to make its turn, and that's a little better. Jay, can you pull into that map a little more, get a little closer on it to where we can actually see it, or is that just static? There you go. And let's just pan left and let's lose the borders. We'll go all the way in on it if we can. That way we can let people get a good visual of where the boundaries of where we are. So you can see this is, they're still holding their guns right now to that Lafayette area. And what's that, Jay? Yeah, these are the tropical force winds. And as you could tell, Terrebonne would be moderate, but into the Lafayette area and western St. Mary, those would be problematic. So our friends in West St. Mary, be tuned in. The maximum sustained winds remain near 50 miles per hour. They will go up with higher gusts. Gradual intensification is expected over the next day, with more significant intensification on Tuesday night and Wednesday. Francine is expected to become a hurricane before it reaches the northwestern U.S. Gulf on Wednesday. Tropical storm force winds, let's stay there, Jay. They extend outward up to 160 miles from the center, as you can see right there. The estimated minimal central pressure is 1,002 millibars. And so we will keep an eye on that. Let me see if they have anything. Yeah, let's look at rainfall. Tropical Storm Francine is expected to bring storm total rainfall of 4 to 8 inches with local amounts to 12 inches. So what does that tell me? Prepare for 12. Prepare for 12 inches of rain. If you don't get it, well, lucky you, but prepare for 12. From the coast to far northeast Mexico northward along portions of the southern Texas coast, the far upper Texas coast, and across southern Louisiana and southern Mississippi into Thursday morning. This rainfall could lead to the risk of considerable flash and urban flooding. Storm surge. The combination of a dangerous storm surge and the tide will cause normally dry areas near the coast to be flooded by rising waters moving inland from the shoreline. The water could reach the following heights above ground somewhere in the indicated areas if the peak surge occurs at the time of high tide. So, from Cameron to Port Fourchon, 5 to 10 feet. Vermilion Bay, 5 to 10 feet. Port Fourchon to south of the Mississippi River, 4 to 7 feet. Texas to Cameron, 3 to 5 feet. Now just keep in mind, keep that map up, Jay, if you can. We have flood protection here in Terrebonne Parish and Lafourche. So be careful what you're hearing from the Weather Channel and other places, because remember, they're the same ones that called for some of these storms that we'd have water all the way up to Terrebonne High School. remember, they need to understand we have flood protection. Now, flood protection differs from the rainfall. We saw that the other day, but parish president was just on. He said the pumps are churning away. But we also have to keep in mind, we have saturated ground. We have telephone poles sitting in saturated ground. We have trees in saturated ground. So the farther this thing would go westward of Terrebonne Parish or St. Mary, makes a big difference as far as rainfall, as far as wind, as far as trees coming down, as far as telephone poles coming down, etc. And that was a shot of Galliana, huh, Jay? Okay, yeah, so let's look at Galliana. Let's see, sure it's a little blustery day in Galliana as we're gonna. Now, how far is that zoom going, that one, Jay? I'm trying to remember which cameras we replaced and which ones we did. Just giving you live shots, folks, of what we'll be able to go to once we're able to. All right, so we'll be able to give you different looks. But anyway, that's, you know, we have the water control. I mean, we have the camera on the Golden Meadow floodgate also, so we'll be able to bring you all that. There we are. So we'll keep you up to speed on that. And what's the status on that right now, Jay? What's the status of the floodgate in Golden Meadow? Okay, let me know if that changes, but show people the gauge too, how we able to look at the, and I can normally work these from the desk, but I'm dealing with a lot of paperwork right now, so Jay's going to control all that from the control room. And we'll just show you the, they have a measuring marker. There you see it on the side, and we normally rely on that. And remember, this is the same floodgate during Ida, where I was on the phone with members of Lafourche and was telling them that, see that weld mark? And I asked Wendell Curall live on the air one time, because he was without computer. They were knocked out. And I said, that weld mark, Wendell, where's it at? And I think he told me 11. Was that around 11 what he told me, Jay? If I remember correct. So what happened is I said, well, we're about 5 feet over the weld mark. So it's a good thing they added that sector, that section of the gate, because it really, really came in handy. And let me tell you who we're going to be having coming on. We got Trooper T is going to be coming on with Louisiana State Police at 11:30. Jimmy Broussard, the director of St. Mary Parish Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness, will be coming on at 1 p.m. At 1:15, John Schaff, the Morgan City Police Department. 1:30, Carlo Gagliano, Acadian Ambulance Service. And then 2 o'clock, Mike Palmer, Bayou Cane Fire Department. We're going to have a lot of people coming on to talk about different things. So we have a lineup for you that's going to be coming with quite a bit of information as we continue to watch this. Now, we're going to stay on as long as we can today, getting you ready. We'll re-air some of these programs that are pertinent a little later on. And then tomorrow afternoon really is going to be the time when we're coming on and staying on. But we're trying to get everybody ready right now. So this is key for you to get ready. And, you know, I just want to tell you everything that our crew sacrifices too. They're at home trying to get their stuff ready, but then they're called to duty just like police, just like fire, just like parish officials, just like people manning the pump stations, just like first responders, like state police. We got the Houma police. We got sheriff's departments. We got, there's a lot of people called to duty to make you safe and protect you. So we try to urge patience in these times of need, because everybody gets a little amped up. We get amped up at the station. You know, we moving back and forth. But I guess over the years, you try to find that little pocket of calm, and you try to remain calm, because that can go a long way. Sometimes it don't work. We're all real. We're all We all have faults, but let's try to practice that as we get through this storm. All right, we'll take a break. We're coming back with a lot more. Don't go away.
I'm Clay Higgins, a veteran, a street cop, and a representative for South Louisiana. In Congress, I'm leading the fight against the radical Biden-Harris agenda, authoring legislation to secure our border, promoting energy independence, working to make America affordable again. And I'll always put Louisiana and America first. Terrebonne and Lafourche parishes, I humbly ask for your vote. I'm Clay Higgins, and I approve this message.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra, available with the connected driving experience and the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Or get $3,500 purchase cash on select GMC Sierra models. Or get a total of $6,000 purchase allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
See your local GMC dealer.
Welcome to Home Outlet. What brings you in today?
Save 20% on your fall project. Break up with your big box store and come see our new look at Home Outlet in Gray during our grand reopening to save 20% September 12th through 14th. Save on quality kitchens, baths, floors, and more.
All in stock with hundreds more available and at the guaranteed lowest price.
Home Outlet is your home store.
Home Outlet, 100% employee owned.
Selecting an insurance provider for your business is a big decision.
With over 26 years of experience, our offered team is your solution for quality and proven coverage.
The customer service you remember from years ago is what we pride our team on.
We know how important your company is to the community.
From small businesses to large businesses, Alford & Associates can manage your insurance. It's our job.
Alford & Associates, benefiting your employees and protecting your business.
Leg pain, swelling, or ulcers can be signs of vascular disease in the legs. This lack of blood flow can lead to amputation if not treated. Varicose or spider veins may also be signs of venous disease and are more than just a cosmetic problem. Trust the most advanced team of leg pain specialists at Cardiovascular Institute of the South to reopen blockages in the legs and offer minimally invasive in-clinic vein treatments. If you experience leg pain, swelling, or have visible veins, schedule an appointment with us today at cardio.com.
Since 1911, the Pierre Parts Store has been your one-stop shop. Family owned and operated for 4 generations, the Pierre Parts Store has served the community by providing groceries, hardware, home products, and much more, including a full-service lumber yard. Now, we've added the Thibodaux store to the family with the same values and service we've delivered for over 100 years. The Pierre Parts Store and the Thibodaux store, our family serving your family.
Welcome to the Cypress Stop, your new Phillips 66 on the corner of 311 and Savannah Road. We have all your breakfast, lunch, and dinner needs with smoked ribs, smoked chicken, boudin, homemade pulled pork, and daily plate lunches. We have a very large selection of white wines, red wines, liquors, beer, tobacco, and premium cigars. Going fishing? We have your bait and tackle and the ice to keep your catch cool. Cypress Stop, home of the happy customer.
Get your back to the school specials going on now at AJ Doman Chevrolet, where you get the all-new tracks starting at $21,595. Need a truck? We got you covered. We got the Crew Cab Silverado custom trim level with $8,500 off of MSRP with your qualified trade. It's all happening at AJ Doman Chevrolet at the foot of the Morgan City Bridge in Berwick, where we say yes when others say no.
All right, welcome back. We appreciate you joining us. Be vigilant. We're getting you tuned up here. So I know a lot of you are probably getting a little nervous, and Ida just did a number on a lot of people, and it put it put a lot of people, including myself, back 3 years. I remember after Ida, everybody said, well, it's going to take 3 to 5 years. And now there was a reason for that. Insurance, insurance paying you claims late. People couldn't get back on their feet. So people have post-traumatic stress from not so much the storm, because people can get out and clean this stuff up. It's from the stuff they had to go through with insurance companies and everything else that put them behind the 8 ball. So we get it. We understand. So people are a little anxious about this right now. Let's just call it like it is. Let's go back to the satellite and we'll show you some of the maps as we take a look at them. We could lose a number, Jay, right now, or just bring it down if you can, so I could just show them. This thing's becoming pretty well organized. There you can see the flare up around the center of circulation. And look at it from this morning to now. It's becoming organized. So we'll see if any dry air gets in it, but right now it looks pretty impressive. All right, Jay, who's on the line? Oh, okay. We have Mr. Joe Waits, the district attorney of Terrebonne Parish, on the line. Joe, how are you today?
Doing fine, Martin. Thank you for doing all your coverage of the hurricane and this upcoming storm. It's very important that we get our people the information, and you do an excellent job. So thank you for your dedication.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I wanted to get you on, Joe, because I wanted to, as we're watching the sector gate in Lafourche close at this point, we're going to keep you on schedule with all those. But, Joe, what's the protocol? Because I hate to even bring this up, but if we don't bring it up, we're doing our viewing audience an injustice. When we get storms like this, we got the boneheads out there that they want to go around, they want to loot. And of course, we've talked to the sheriff about this before, but you're the one that has to prosecute them and all that. And I know your stance in the past has been tough, but just bring us through that scenario in general fashion.
Martin, there's nothing more unfair than a person that's going to go take advantage of another person in a time of peril like this. And I think that's what irritates me the most. And that's why we take the stance that we do. It's like stealing from a blind man. People leave their homes, they have to evacuate, go other places, and these bad people go out and they're going to take advantage of those situations. And that I want to throw the book at them for doing that kind of stuff in a time of need. It should never happen, but especially in these type of times, that's just that's a horrible thing, and it will not be tolerated.
You know, and I was passing some good compliments on to your dad today, because when we go to the Emergency Preparedness Center, your dad's name is all over it, so I know you're proud of that, but certainly he'd be proud to have his name up there, and I know you're trying to carry on a legacy and a tradition, but I know you have some investigators probably out trying to help out too, right?
Yes, sir. We had a meeting with Sheriff Saunier this morning, and I told the sheriff that whatever my investigator could do to help, we are 100% on board and at his beck and call to do whatever was necessary to help the people of Terrebonne. And, you know, as I've said many times in all the speeches I've given and in all the interviews, is that my passion is helping people, and this is a way of reaching out. And all my investigators feel the same way. They enjoy helping people. With people that they don't have gas money, they don't have a way of transportation, they don't have a way to move about. So we're out there helping them, getting them safe, getting them to safe shelters, and they enjoy it as well. So it's a job to do, but helping people like that, it brings joy to your heart.
Well, we've seen different scenarios over the years, and you sort of been through all this with us. We've sort of grown up together in life and on the station also, but this is a little different animal because it's coming from the Southwest. We're so used to having everything come from the Northeast. Or from the Southeast, I mean, Southwest and Southeast, we're just used to a different direction.
No doubt about it. It's coming from a different angle, and I don't know what the water is going to do as far as it looks like we're going to be on the bad side of the storm, which is going to create a flooding situation in our low-lying areas of the parish. So it's important that we stay vigilant, we stay on top of our game, and make sure that we help those people that might get behind.
Let me ask you, you've talked to a lot of people over the years, and a lot of people come to you for advice. What's the best advice you could give them just about remaining calm when they're in this situation?
Well, they just need to get prepared, Martin. They need to realize that we could have flooding. I think our levee system is at the best it's ever been. I think all those guys are with the levee districts, Mr. Dove and Alfred and all those guys have done a bang-up job in getting us to where we are. So my gut feeling is that we won't have a lot of flooding inside the in the levee system. Hopefully we don't have any failures, but I think with the strength of our levee system, we're in good shape. People just need to stay on top of it and just be real careful, prepare, get your batteries, get your gas up your vehicles, get your generators, gas and those type of things, and just be ready. And I think it's going to be okay. It doesn't look like it's going to be that bad, but it's probably more of a water event. But time will tell. You know, these things can blow up in a heartbeat. So you really don't know at this stage.
Well, we appreciate you joining us, Mr. District Attorney, and thanks for deploying your crew on this also, and we appreciate your service to our community.
Thank you, Martin. We appreciate you as well. Thank you. Have a good day.
All right. They have the District Attorney of Terrebonne Parish. And who do we have on 2J? All right. Let's take a call from the public. HTV, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hey, what's up, Mr. Martin Falls? How you doing?
Good.
I'm trying to see, like, storm. Is this going to be a storm or just tropical depression?
Oh, this is going to be a hurricane. Yeah.
You know where it's going to make landfall at?
Well, we don't know that yet, sir, but we're going to try to monitor that situation as it goes along. Right now, they're sort of they're still calling for a little west of West St. Mary, but we don't know. We're going to have to watch to see if it drifts any more east. But I'm banking on the fact that it's going to be somewhere in this area, and I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I'm preparing like it will be. So where are you located?
Hey, I'm from Houma, Louisiana, but I'm in Pasadena.
Okay. That's where you're at right now?
Yeah, in Texas, yeah.
Okay, gotcha. And are you watching us on an app, or are you just calling because you know the area?
Hey, I'm watching on the app. I'm watching on Facebook, man. Shout out to everybody, man.
All right, good deal. So you work in Pasadena?
I moved to it.
Okay, you got family down here?
Oh, born and raised, yo. Man, matter of fact, I did a delivery to you. I used to do delivery.
Well, thank you for that. We appreciate it. You got it on time, right? You got it on time to us, right?
Oh, you looked out for me. For all the DoorDash, let me let y'all know this man show you love. Show you love.
All right. I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you. And look, good luck to you, and hopefully your family does okay, all right?
All right, I'm going to keep watching. You going to be on all day, all night, or how long you going to be?
Well, we're going to be on for the long part of the day today. We'll take a break, let the family over here go home, get their stuff ready, and then tomorrow we have a morning show, and then after that, Tuesday afternoon, full tilt.
All right.
All right, well, thank you for viewing, and stay safe, all right?
All right, HT Moses is in the building.
All right, thank you now. Bye-bye. All right, we are going to take a break, and we'll be right back. A lot more on our coverage of Francine. Don't go away.
Every day, thousands of people hit the road heading towards their dreams. But sometimes those dreams collide with a harsh reality. Auto accidents with 18-wheelers can change lives in an instant. That's why you need the experience and expertise of St. Martin and Bork. With over 50 years of experience, St. Martin and Borg have fought for justice for the victims of truck accidents.
If you've been in a wreck with an 18-wheeler, know your rights.
Call St. Martin and Borg today to schedule your free consultation.
At Terrebonne General Multi-Specialty Clinic, we're dedicated to your well-being. Our expert team of healthcare professionals offers convenient, comprehensive medical care in one trusted location. Whether you're dealing with common illnesses like cold and flu, diabetes, breathing issues, or need help managing your health, our caring and knowledgeable staff are here to treat your symptoms. Call 985-873-4729 or visit tghealthsystem.com to schedule your same or next day appointment.
Terrebonne Parish School District is seeking individuals for the following maintenance positions: licensed plumber, electrician, carpenter, HVAC techs with chiller experience, HVAC techs with general experience. These positions have great work environment, excellent benefits, retirement, and insurance. Apply online at tpsd.org. Terrebonne Parish School District, a great place to work.
All right, welcome back. We're live coming to you. We have Mr. Travis Terrebonne, who's in the house with Jen Gators. He's the owner. And we'll get you to push over a little bit there with him. It was set the camera on you there. How you doing, Travis? Good to see you.
Whew, I'm doing, man. It's been an interesting morning.
I know we just had the parish president of LaFouche, Archie Chess, on. He thanked you for doing. Said y'all do a lot for him.
Man, that's my partner. You know, being a progressive thinker, I think on the worldly stage gets you in trouble nowadays. But in our local community and business and landscape, I like to surround myself with them. And I think Archie's moving the parish forward for sure. Jason as well. So good dudes.
Yeah, and Jason's working on pumps right now and trying to pump everything out. So everybody got their hands full. But I always tell people, and help out. Instead of criticizing, get out there, clean some catch basins, do what you got to do. Because look, ain't nobody wants to wake up as a parish president, sheriff, DA, police chief, and be faced with this. It's why they get elected, because they got to handle it, but nobody wants this. We don't wish this on anybody. You're dealing with a lot of generators. Let's talk about safety factors first, because we don't want nobody. Look, we've had people start generators. I remember back in the day when we were on St. Charles Street, we ran pipes from our exhaust outside. Some people never thought about that, and they run them inside or in the porches, not with no air. This ain't good, is it?
No, definitely not. Look, we started at 4:00 this morning. I got the first text from one of my technicians at about 4 a.m. this morning saying, hey, are we going into phase 1 of storm prep? Absolutely. So we started our whole staff, all 30 employees were at the office at 6 a.m. this morning. And that's kind of how we started it is, hey, let's get one unison voice. What are we telling the people of Terrebonne, LaFouche, and all the parishes we serve? Safety, maintenance, what should you be doing? What should we tell them?
Yeah.
Safety, man, is the paramount. If talking about specifically portables, obviously don't run them in your house.
Right.
But, you know, the main thing about these air-cooled units, whether it's a portable, gasoline-powered, or a natural gas or propane, you know, the only thing that saves an air-cooled lawnmower from running hot is the capacity of the gas tank. It's engineered that way for that reason, where you got a natural gas generator, you got endless supply of fuel. But that doesn't mean you can run it 24/7, 365.
Which was problematic in Ida.
100%.
Yeah.
And that's how when I say we are battle tested as a team, we were forged in the aftermath of Ida. I don't believe this thing's going to turn into that. But I can tell you, we're inundated with calls right now for people trying to get prepared. So if you're running a portable, I would tell you this, you know, get it away from your house. Learn to set your daily life on generator power to where it makes sense. Turn that AC down at night. Don't open your refrigerators and freezers up at night. In the morning, if you're a family that gets out in the community to help in the aftermath, go ahead and shut it down. These air-cooled pieces of equipment need to be shut down until you can put your hand on the exhaust without being burned before you even pull the dipstick. So when you pull up at your house after a long day of driving, you hear that tick, 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 tick noise. That's the oil draining back from your oil galleries in your engine, hitting the dry part of your oil pan. If you pull your dipstick on a generator right after you shut it down, you're going to overfill it with oil, and it could catch fire, it could run hot, it could bend the valve. So if you don't understand what to do and you're worried about it, call us. We'll walk you through it. I got 10, 12 people on the phones right now, answering calls, preparing people for the storm, and prioritizing sick, elderly, and things like that to get people serviced. So 857-0357, just if you got a question, call us. This is when we're made to shine.
Now, by shutting off some of the gas, natural gas generators, you're also sort of making sure we have enough supply. Because in Ida, we got a little depleted. I know they've done some things since then, but what's the status of that?
So I'm gonna tell you this, a lot of TPCG's grid has been upgraded. I can tell you the city of Morgan City, if you're watching from Morgan City, if there's a widespread outage, you're gonna notice the unit being hard to start because their gas pressure is suffering right now because their grid infrastructure needs to be updated. They are in a natural gas generator moratorium, actually, in Morgan City. Terrebonne, Lafourche should be fine. But how to prepare for this is what we didn't think about during Ida was a whole neighborhood with natural gas units trying to start. And what people didn't know is out in the woods, a tree uprooted and busted the line. So you lost all your line pressure. And so units were taking a long time to start. So if your unit is whining out, I don't know if people understand that on the air, but if it's cranking up and whining, then go outside and open the lid and press stop. And you can manually start the unit so that you don't kill the thing trying to run on low gas pressure.
Right.
So look, I would tell you this, the amount of generators going in, the gas infrastructure is trailing, but it is moving forward. So it's not I don't think it's a major thing. I think it's going to cause minor, small issues in certain neighborhoods, but I worked with the whole Louisiana Gas Association as a state to get this rectified, and they are wanting to in the process of moving forward.
But let me ask you this. So let me just switch to a different map here. Let me make sure, see if that holds. But by turning it off, they really are sort of helping the whole community.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, the automatic transfer switch has revolutionized the industry, but if everybody's auto transfer switch is programmed to start at the same time as all the municipalities trying to start, naturally the gas pressure is going to drop. It'd be the same thing if everybody opened their bathtub faucet at the same time. Pressure's going to drop. It just takes a little time for it to come back.
What do you recommend as far as what is the right amount of time in a 24-hour cycle to run your generator?
Great question. So I don't care what, I'm going to talk brand agnostically right now, which means I don't care what brand you got. What the manufacturer's not going to tell you is what the reality is. The reality is an air-cooled piece of equipment. If you have an air-cooled generator, and most people who don't have a liquid-cooled know what they got. So if you got an air-cooled unit, you need to change the oil no later than 72 hours of contiguous running. We recommend 48. I've done the oil sample test. We use SpectraScan here in Houma post-Ida. At about 48 hours of consistent 400-degree crankcase temperature on an air-cooled unit, the oil's broken down. So when you stop it, once per day it needs to be stopped. Shut down until you can touch the exhaust, check your oil, don't overfill it, crank it up again, set your family up. Look, if you spend most of the day in the house and very little time at night, then maybe nighttime works for you and your family to shut it down. But to think that you were sold a bill of goods that with an air-cooled unit you can run it forever, that's just not true. Liquid-cooled, once a week. A liquid-cooled unit, once in a 7-day period, you should shut it down. Let it cool all the way down till you can touch the exhaust, check your oil, and if it's good, you can let that liquid-cooled unit go ahead and get back online. Gas engines burn oil. So they are going to consume oil throughout the livelihood of being loaded, regardless if it's air or liquid.
What types of oils? Because God, when you go to people like me who sort of Greek, y'all grow up with engines. But what kind of oils can ruin a generator and what kind of optimal?
So I would say this, when you're in an extended outage, and if you follow oil change intervals like I'm recommending, you could put about anything but Crisco in it because you're changing it when it starts to break down. Now, if you want an extended life, oils like synthetics and royal purple and things like that are going to extend the breakdown life of the paraffins in the oil. All it is wax. So if you want a nice coat of wax on your stuff in your engine, buy the more expensive oil. It's not a gimmick. But when you're talking about just basic 5W20, 5W30 oil, if you're going to change it like you're supposed to, get what you can get. It's like going shopping for water after the storm. If all you drink is Fiji, but what they got is the cheap brand,
right?
Get the cheap brand because it's going to get you out of a bind.
Yeah, so you're right. Supply and demand.
Yeah.
Right now, what y'all situation? Y'all in? What kind of mode would we say y'all would be in right now? I know people trying to put up generators right now as you speak.
Yeah, I thought about my whole 10-minute drive over here, how I was going to address that in a professional manner. The people that we're installing as we speak, like right now, I have my install guys wrapping up the installs we had pending as of Friday. But most people who applied to buy a generator in the first quarter or second quarter of the year, we've already installed them. But if you waited until the summer in hurricane season and we're just getting your permit and getting you lined up, the idea of me getting your new install done before Wednesday is slim to none. Look, Lafayette's going to take, according to this, maybe a direct path, and we have guys in Lafayette today. So what we do is in phase one, we start dispatching and prioritizing service calls. In phase two, which will start tomorrow for us, we are done with installations. Our install technicians become triage, which means we respond in an ambulatory way. They all become technicians. Our job is to get the existing clients, keep them going, get them running. And then after the storm passes, we'll resume installation activity. But even for the maintenance side, Martin, I got people that text me this morning, hey, can you maintenance my generator? And I'm thinking, man, I've been talking to you since January. So here's what's happening. I want you to people to pay attention to this.
Let's come back on Travis for this point.
Okay, I want people to pay attention to this. If you don't know when's the last time your oil was changed, which is only one small piece of generator service, make a call. If you don't know when's the last time your battery was replaced, make a call. Batteries fail in the winter. We're going into that time. And our rule of thumb is that you don't know when the battery was replaced, it means it's due to be replaced. Right. And that's a lot of the failures we'll get. Utility sense lost. Unit didn't start. Why didn't the unit start? And we can go into it when you tell me to about how to crank it up on manual and stuff like that. But batteries and service, we're going to work around the clock today into tomorrow to get people serviced and their units, even if they start on manual, that's fine. We'll get them on that.
The point is, y'all can't work miracles at this time because it's like it would be like a parish president in any of our parishes waiting until the storm's over is to turn the pump on. I mean, it's too late. That's why they all got the pumps running now. Y'all got to have time to prepare things.
Look, man,
generate
100%. And look, this thing was going to be maybe a Category 1 tropical storm. Are they projecting it to be stronger?
Well, it's a 1, but it could be a 2.
So if it turns into a 1 or 2, realistically speaking, there's going to be some power outages. Maybe not 30, 45 days. I'd like to think most of the state got rebuilt infrastructure quite a bit, the local infrastructure.
The ground saturated, so the poles could
fall and lean. And so what happens on an extended outage to the folks out there that waited, generators are not going away. When we had that conversation with Louisiana Gas Association, it's growing. The grid infrastructure on a national level is not getting any better, and the population is growing. Whatever reason you believe it's growing by millions. And so we can't rebuild the national or even local infrastructure in that amount of time. I know Jason took a lot of heat during the last failure, but you can only do so much when things are going good. As a business owner, I'm in the same spot as him and you. I'm trying to progress the business forward. When it's time to worry about a storm, we have to rely on plans, people, stuff like that. So we are trying to get everybody who was proactive ahead of hurricane season. We built our business on service. We're going to make sure they're running. Our installations are just going to take a back seat until this thing passes us. And that's our infrastructure contribution, is we'll get everybody back going and the install's done. But man, cut these guys in the public service some slack. I've dealt with them hand in hand, and they are trying, and they're movers and shakers. But we dealt a rough hand in South Louisiana, so nobody come and save us, Martin. We got to learn to save ourselves.
That's what I sort of been preaching to everybody. Don't be part of the criticism team. Be part of the posse that goes out and gets it done.
Bring a solution to every problem.
Yeah, I think. But I know y'all are busy. You said y'all got y'all all the way to, you getting a lot of calls from Lafayette? Right?
Oh yeah, yeah. We've already when we decided to join forces with Kohler, although we service every brand. Generac, I want you to know that if you're watching right now, Generac, Briggs & Stratton, Cummins, Kohler, Onan, any diesel, any gas, we got
They're
radio
all about
generator
the same when you break it down?
You know, they're all about the same in terms of principles of operation, maybe not all the same in like stocking parts and getting parts or ease of repair. But when we joined forces with Kohler and built the system in which we operate the company, Kohler said, you need to increase your footprint. And so that meant we're building a brand. You know, you built a brand. And when you're building a brand, you need more people to know, like, and trust you. So we go, I said it this morning, from rivers to bayous to marsh to mountains. I mean, man, we in Jackson, Mississippi, Baton Rouge, east, west. We cover a lot of ground, but we are setting realistic expectations that we got to take care of our backyard first before we could get out to the neighboring areas. So we jumped on those this morning, and we're going to work our way through Terrebonne and Lafourche into tomorrow and well into Wednesday. So,
well, Travis, we appreciate what you're doing. I know you're busy. I know you got to get back out there and be the leader of the Army. But but thank you so much. That's great information, and hopefully we can get past this, and people will have learned, call and make plans.
Get ahead of the game.
Don't wait till the storm is right on us.
Yeah, get ahead of the game. Look, I want to give a shout out to my team. Like I said, we've been at this since 4 o'clock this morning, and no end in sight for us. We're more than just a generator company. We're in the people business. So look, bother us, ring our phone. We got a full YouTube channel. You can go back and watch all the videos we shot here with you, and I bet you're a smarter generator owner after doing it. So I appreciate you having me.
All right, Travis. Thank you so much. Once again, Travis Terrebonne, we appreciate him coming by and giving us some pointers. We're going to have people in the Levy District. We're going to have the CPRA Director, Gordon Dove, coming on. And we've got a lot of people from St. Mary, so we're going to be talking to all of you. We'll be right back.
Led by a 7-member commission, the Terrebonne Port was created to assist our local industry in promoting economic development. We monitor government regulations that affect our local industry and work with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to secure maintenance dredging funds. Because the HNC is the main artery for the heartbeat of Terrebonne's economy, Terrebonne Port fights a constant battle for funding to maintain the federally authorized navigable depth. We are now leasing waterfront and non-waterfront property. Terrebonne Port Commission, serving our industry to keep Terrebonne thriving.
Do you or a loved one need help dealing with opioid use? There is help nearby. Go to opioidhelpla.org. There you will find medication and outpatient therapy nearby. Telehealth may be available. Uninsured or on Medicaid, there's help. You can be prescribed medication like Suboxone in an office-based opioid treatment site. You keep your job. You work toward a healthy lifestyle, and we help you recover. Opioidhelpla.org. Help is closer than you think.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra, available with the connected driving experience and the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra, It's the truck. Or get $3,500 purchase cash on select GMC Sierra models. Or get a total of $6,000 purchase allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle. See your local GMC dealer.
Our bayous are staples of our Southern culture. They have been a source of food, transportation, recreations for generations. Our crews will continue hard working to clean the bayous and keep Terrebonne beautiful in the present and for the future.
Litter doesn't just look bad, it also impacts our drainage systems, ecosystems, and wildlife. Keeping our bayous clean means keeping our drains clean and preserving our wildlife and cultural heritage.
Our bayous are the heart and soul of our parish. That's why I'm proud to announce TPCG's Bayou Revival Campaign. Together, administration with Public Works and Solid Waste will be working to clear debris and litter out of our 5 main bayous. Together, we can move Terrebonne Parish forward. Lash Pala Patat.
Working together on a common goal improves neighborhoods, communities, and the parish as a whole. You can do your part to support our Bayou Revival initiative by volunteering at local cleanup events, disposing of trash properly, and encouraging your friends and family to take pride in our parish.
All right, welcome back. That was a great information from Travis Terrebonne. You know, because you got to think about everything, and a lot of people get complacent. Everybody sort of at a certain point gets a little complacent, but you're right. If you're looking for a generator right now, you might have some problems, you know, just to be honest with you, unless it's a portable one. But then don't try to feed it into the line and backfeed the line, and that causes havoc with some of the line workers and all that kind of stuff. So before you do that, look up all the rules and regs of that, and you got to have a permit for that. Don't backfeed the system, please. You could kill somebody if you backfeed the system. Jay, we got some models we could pull up from the, okay, which model is this? This is the GFS model right in. All right, let's see what they're showing. Let's let that roll. They're showing West St. Mary, Lafayette, at a Vermilion area. Okay, that's what it looks like. All right, let's. We have another model. All right, so GFS. Let's run that again. Get a little tighter in there if we can. There we go. We'll move that in there and run that. Center circulation. Yeah, going right in. Let's zoom in on that. Okay, that's the model there. New Iberia, Lafayette, West St. Mary, huh? All that area, yeah. Yep. Yeah, so Marsh Island, all that. So let's just stay in that, because generally what that would do is going to put a lot of surge in Terrebonne Parish, but the winds won't be as fierce in parts of Terrebonne. If you're in western Terrebonne Parish, yeah, you're going to get hit pretty good. But as you move towards Lafourche and Grand Isle, the winds won't be as bad, but you're going to have to deal with the surge. So we've seen that a lot of times before. Let's go to our animations that Dwayne Dupre put together. This is a Lafayette landfall. Look at the arrows showing where the water pushes. There it is, pushing into Houma. Southwest, southwest, southwest. Big surge. All right, let's go to another landfall and see. This is a Houma landfall. So you can see in Houma, here it is, southeast, Lafourche, south, Grand Isle getting hammered from the south. So do we have another landfall? St. Mary landfall. Here we go. Terrebonne Parish, more from the south and southwest. Lafourche would be, Houma would be south and southeast. Lafourche would be southwest. So different scenarios to watch. St. Mary landfall. Watch it again. There's Houma south and southwest. Lafourche, when it wraps around, would be getting hit more southeasterly. So still water, folks. It's coming in either way. Any of these scenarios is going to be generally not perfect, but further west we would get this thing would be okay, but then we get our neighbors, you know. So I'm always careful to say, man, I hope it goes west, but then again, you got people in Vermilion and Lafayette. Everybody never wants the storm to come to them. It's just a rule of thumb. So we're not being mean. Nobody's trying to wish anything on anybody else. We just don't want to deal with it. We dealt with Ida, but Lake Charles dealt with Laura and Zeta and everything else. So, heck, nobody wants this. I mean, this is just one of those things in nature that we all got to deal with. All right, what we're going to look at now, there's some more models. Let's zoom in on the spaghetti models. They're all starting to get a little consensus. Can we push into that? Jay, they got one lone wolf over Terrebonne Parish, and the rest of them pretty much. Is this all of them? This can't be all of them, Jay, huh? Which model is this? Model track guide. So, yeah. So they still holding it. To most of them are in Vermilion, right? Yeah. So, yeah. If that's West St. Mary would be on the bad side. Terrebonne Parish, we'd still get the surge, but unless that lone wolf, if that lone wolf is correct, boy, wouldn't they feel pretty good about themselves? But that they predicted it. But we just, once again, this is a wind difference. Everybody's going to get a surge. We have some lines lit up. I'm gonna go to the line and see if I can't talk with someone. HTV, welcome to the program. You're on. Go ahead, please.
Yes. Do we need to leave Houma for the storm?
Well, where do you live? What area?
The Doug Road.
Okay. Yeah. No, I would just watch our channel. We're going to have the parish president and the sheriff will be telling everybody what to do. We got to watch the models. We got to watch where the actual center of circulation goes, because if it's holding according to the spaghetti models that we're seeing, you're going to be fine. You can expect some 50-mile-per-hour winds. You can expect a lot of rain, but I think you're going to be fine. I'm very familiar with the area. I've had some great people on Dog Road.
Oh yeah.
That's a very popular area.
Yes, yes.
You know, my good friend Skippy Ezel, he's probably watching right now. He came,
yes.
He came from Dog Road, but yeah, I would say you're okay right now, but let's keep watching the intensity of the storm. Let's see if it holds true to the predictions, and let's see what happens with the path. And then keep watching us, and we're going to give you some good information as we get a little closer.
Yes.
But are you in a pretty secure place?
Yes, I'm in a house.
Yeah, okay. So you know my theory on that. Most people who call me and say I live in a trailer, I always tell people I'm not demeaning anyone who lives in a trailer, but if I lived in a trailer, it would certainly, it would be like, okay, well, I live in a shed and it's got gasoline in it. Should I leave? Well, yeah, you should leave. But find somebody, or find a relative, or we don't have any word on shelters yet, but we'll try to get information. But I think you could be fine, but just keep watching and we'll give you some updates, okay?
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching, okay?
Okay.
Bye-bye. And that's it. We appreciate people calling. I get to as many of the callers as I can as the storm is roaring by. Let's get the strength thing up, Jay, if we can. These are all the models, huh? Yeah, look at the scales. Most of them are medium to high 1. I would guesstimate. But, folks, I'm telling you, do not count a Cat 2 out of this deal. Because, I mean, we still got some conducive waters here. Although some of those rains last week cooled the waters down quite a bit. But I wouldn't count on it. I'm just saying prepare for a 2. And if it's a Cat 1, then you can tell everybody I was wrong, but prepare for a 2. But I'd rather be wrong going down than wrong going up, okay? Because that could be, not good. All right, so, and just programming note, we're going to, Sports on the Bayou will go on tomorrow. LSU won. Of course, my alma mater, Nichols, played a great game against LSU. And how about the Saints? Man, they kicked some butt. They just they took it to Carolina. But our show will go on tomorrow here at the studio, and it will run. But after that show, we are full-blown hurricane coverage, just to let everybody know. So let me take, I saw the line lit up, but let's take a break right now. I'm going to drink a sip of water, if you don't mind, and then we'll be right back.
Billy's Best Brands Plus has all of your bedding, appliance, and electronic needs. Whether you're in the need of a new washer or dryer, refrigerator or stove, at Billy's we have a wide selection of HD TVs and home theater systems, plus the best bedding around. Come in and see our great selection today, only at Billy's Best Brands Plus. And let us deliver to you. Billy's Best Brands Plus, located at 5805 West Main Street in Houma.
U-Drop Shipping and Crating Pros is a highly versatile company that will ship any size, any weight, anywhere. U-Drop Shipping and Crating Pros is a full-service logistics provider focused on expert packing, crating, and transportation solutions. The local oil and gas industry utilizes our professional crating and shipping services that support their offshore and international needs. U-Drop Shipping and Crating Pros is authorized and recognized to construct shipping crates built for exports. U-Drop Shipping and Crating Pros, now at our new location at Capitol Boulevard.
For 4 decades, Cardiovascular Institute of the South and Terrebonne General Health System have partnered to deliver a legacy of cardiovascular innovation. We lead the state in advanced programs and complex procedures that you won't find anywhere else. Our specialized treatments for peripheral vascular disease, artery and vein disease, heart valve and structure conditions, arrhythmias, and more attract patients from around the world. Together, we deliver the cardiovascular care that you deserve. Visit tgncis.com to learn more.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra, available with the connected driving experience and the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Or get $3,500 purchase cash on select GMC Sierra models. Or get a total of $6,000 purchase allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
See your local GMC dealer.
Every day, thousands of people hit the road heading towards their dreams. But sometimes those dreams collide with a harsh reality. Auto accidents with 18-wheelers can change lives in an instant. That's why you need the experience and expertise of St. Martin & Bork. With over 50 years of experience, St. Martin & Bork have fought for justice for the victims of truck accidents.
If you've been in a wreck with an 18-wheeler, know your rights.
Call St. Martin & Bork today to schedule your free consultation.
When it comes to marine towing, Crosby Tugs has over 40 years of experience. We have the know-how to safely assist ships into and out of their berths, escort oil tankers quickly and safely, tow ships, respond to fuel spills, and work in extreme conditions. Founded in 1977 by Vinton and Kurt Crosby, we are one of the largest privately owned marine transportation businesses in the industry. If it's on the water, let Crosby be your transporter.
All right, welcome back. Live coverage. We've had Parish President Jason Badron on. We've had Parish President Archie Chesson on. We've had Sheriff Tim Saunier on. We are awaiting Angela Hidalgo with the Levy District. She's on her way here. We're awaiting CPRA Chair Gordon Dove to talk about the state level now, because Jason Badron's got the reins in Terrebonne. Gordy's got the reins on the state, so he'll be able to address more of that Vermilion Parish area and what the future plans are to try to rock the whole coast. We have St. Mary officials that will be coming on. Jason, did I miss anybody? We've been having a few people on this morning. So we had the district attorney, Joe Waits, who came on to talk about how his people are helping out. Also, his investigators are teaming up with law enforcement to try to get that under control. He talked about looting. Anybody out there? If you're one of those people that loot, well, you better think twice, because he'll throw the book at you. And I know Christine will throw the book at you too. We have some strong DAs in the area that don't take kindly to people messing with people's property when they're gone. So we're going to do that. We have some, we have state police coming up here, and we'll get to them shortly after the break and let them come up and let us know everything that's going on. We'll let them plan. And Ross and Tia will be up here on the news desk. Let's go back to the shot of the storm if we can. And let me take that off right now. And there you go. This is a pretty impressive system that has been placed. Let me bring you some drawings here. I'm gonna try to track once again. Let me circle that center of circulation. I'm gonna try to really put my eye on it to see. It looks like somewhere in here. And I'm gonna need another set of eyes in the studio to tell me. Is that pretty much where y'all seeing it? All right, so it looks like it drifted a little bit more westerly before it makes that. So once again, but it's moving north. Let me get a general feel for the direction of the storm. Let me watch it real close, real quick. This is the direction I'm seeing, folks. And we are moving. I'm gonna get state police up here while I'm talking to you all. And that looks like the general direction of it. So remember, the further away it moves from the stick, the better shot at we have of just making that turn. But we got to keep an eye on it. We still got some game left, and we're going to try to do that. So we're getting state police situated up here. Let's take a break. When we come back, they can have some great information for us. They always do on your roads out there and your safety. We'll be right back.
Dive to Sportsman's Paradise at Sportsman's Cycle and Marine. We're your new exclusive dealer for E-Z-GO golf carts in St. Mary Parish. See the whole line, plus a full inventory of Sea-Doos and Yamaha Wave Runners, Honda and Yamaha Power Sports, and a huge variety of utility and off-road vehicles, plus a wide selection of accessories for everything in stock. Come visit our new 26,000-foot facility on Highway 182 in Morgan City, packed with the rides you need to live your adventure. Sportsman Cycle and Marine.
1 million customers a week can't be wrong. Welcome to Rouse's.
Rouse's Markets has USDA prime beef T-bone steaks for $9.99 a pound. Save $10 a pound. A 5-pound bag of Rouse's red or gold potatoes is $2.97. Save $2.02. USDA Grade A Sanderson Farms boneless, skinless chicken breasts are $1.97 a pound. Save $2.02 a pound. And selected Fiora towels and bath tissues are buy one, get one free. Save $7.99.
Thank you for choosing us best grocery store on the Gulf Coast.
Hello, I'm Rhonda Alford, host of To Your Health with Terrebonne General Health System.
Join me weekly to learn more about the latest news and happenings at Terrebonne General and in the Houma Terrebonne community. We have leading-edge innovations and up-to-the-minute breakthroughs that you need to know about. Our show highlights interviews with experts on relevant topics such as heart health, women's health, cancer care, health and wellness, and much more. It's all about taking a few minutes for better health. See you then.
Rouse's Markets is voted best grocery store in New Orleans, best grocery store in Baton Rouge, Mississippi, Gulf Coast, Thibodaux, Houma, Hammond, Lake Charles, Mobile, year after year. Thank you for choosing us best grocery store on the Gulf Coast. Number one. Thank you.
Thank you.
The number one grocery store
In Mississippi, Alabama,
Louisiana. 1 million customers a week can't be wrong. Welcome to Rouse's.
Hi, I'm Martin False, the owner of HTV, and I just wanted to thank my team because each and every day we come in not always looking for the negative stories. We look for the positive stories. We have so many positive people and events that shape our area. So when you're tired of all the bad things happening in the world, tune into HTV for a little positive attitude. Thanks for viewing, and thanks to a great staff. All right, we are back and we are tracking Francine, and it's certainly one of those storms we're going to keep an eye on. If we could go to the map real quick and just keep you up to date. And we know we have a large audience, so we're trying to get you as much information as we can. I'm trying to keep my voice because we got tomorrow and we got Wednesday. But we got Ross Brennan in the house. He is now he's moved up in the world. He's a Region 2 supervisor. Good to see you, Ross.
Same
you
to you.
doing okay?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I just want to make sure you wasn't boxed up in mothballs. You know?
No, I'm still around.
Pretty good over there. Huh?
Yes, sir.
And we got Trooper Tia Larvadane. How are you doing?
Good. How about yourself?
How's the new job?
It's good. It's learning, getting out with the people. It's a good place.
You are with them, huh?
Hey.
Making it. You got good teachers. There's no doubt about it. So certainly one of the best. So what kind of information we have for the people today? What are we looking at right now?
Okay, so right now, just a lot of precautionary things. A few tips that we could give out. Of course, if advised to evacuate, always do so ahead of time. Don't wait until the last minute. If you are going to evacuate, then it's advised that you go north because this storm could move east or west. You might think that you're getting out of the way, and then at the last minute, it shifts paths, and now you're in the path. So it's always best to go north before you get on the road, or if you're getting on the road, make a family plan. So communicate with a family member outside of the affected area. Make sure they know where you're going and where you're going to ride out the storm. Have some emergency supplies handy, whether that's blankets, air mattresses, water, batteries, flashlights, those kind of things. Have those handy. And before you get on the road, just protect your home, of course. Tie down any loose items in your yard, board up your windows, those type of things. If you're driving and you come across some water on the road, always turn around. Turn around, don't drown. Don't drive it through any standing water or anything like that. And once you get on the road and if you do need emergency personnel, just know that it may be a delay before they get to you due to the severe weather conditions.
You know, I hadn't hydroplaned in a long time, but the other day I was in my vehicle when all those rains were and we were going to get stored, and I hit some water, and I'd be doggone if I didn't hydroplane. It seemed like a mile when you're in it, but it's probably only about 30, 40 feet. But yeah. That's you got to be careful. That could
slow down.
Definitely out of control.
Oh, yeah.
And I was going 45, thank God.
And that's low speed.
Yeah, you're going fast. It's hard to keep control of your vehicle. Let me turn around. I can't have you on the desk without asking you a couple of questions. It's like old times, But
gasoline in vehicles when people leave. Let's talk about that a little bit.
So look, even driving here, we already saw people starting to get fuel cans and fill up at the gas station. So look, definitely, but it's good time now before the storm gets a little close to make those preparations. So you know, if you can today and tomorrow, try to do that as soon as you can, especially if you're traveling on the roadway. I don't predict that we'll have some type of evacuations. It looks like it's going to be a Cat 1 at most. But if there is, especially those low-lying areas, those coastal areas, but make sure that your car is good to go. We don't want you to get on the roadway to try to leave that area, then you become disabled. One, you either run out of fuel, also just mechanical stuff too. Make sure your tires are good, wipers are good. That way, if it starts raining, you have good visibility. Headlights are good. That way, other people can see you as well on the roadways, because that can just limit those breakdowns. We'll have troopers running up and down Highway 90, doing motorist assist and stuff like that if we can. But like T said earlier, if it's in the middle of that storm that's coming through, that severe weather, it might be a little bit of delay before help can get out there. Because I mean, whether it's police, fire, or EMS, I mean, if the roads are too severe to be on, I mean, we'll try to get there as fast as we can. But again, there might be a little bit of a delay. But if you are planning your route, there's some resources. Of course, there's 511la.org. That's DOTD's website. They'll post any closures, and of course, Louisiana State Police, our social media pages on Facebook primarily, will post if there's any significant flooding on roadways, things like that. Typically, we see those low-lying areas around here. LA1 is probably going to be one of the biggest things down by Fouchon. I mean, a strong breeze can blow water across the roadway, so that might be one of the problem areas too. And maybe LA1 308 by Lafourche Crossing, typically it'll kind of flood there with heavy rains. 316 by Bayou Blue Road is kind of a little low area too there. So again, just kind of, if you're planning your route, maybe think about those things, especially traveling on the interstate. You know, you might have a situation like we had a few weeks ago on the Basin Bridge where there was a significant crash that closed it down for a few hours. So again, make sure you have those provisions inside the vehicle, some water, some food, kind of get you by a little bit, maybe before getting on that interstate. Again, make sure that your vehicle's fueled up. That way, if you do get stopped in traffic, you're not running out of fuel. So just taking simple precautions like that. I mean, that's for any storm. You already see traffic starting to build up on the interstate there. So look, just kind of get that good game plan in place. And talking about game plans, the governor's office has getagamePlan.org. If you go there, there's some great tips how to get your house prepared, different things to kind of look out for when preparing for a storm to come in there, generator safety, things such as that. So again, there's a lot of resources out there. It's not our first storm that we have through this area. Hopefully it just kind of moves through fast. But again, we will be out there trying to do the best that we can.
Yeah, I think they say it's going to move fast.
Yeah.
But let me ask Trooper Laura Dane. So let's go back, if we can, to the shot of the highway where the traffic is moving. So is this typical traffic, or they starting to pile up because of the storm? We'll go back to that.
Trying to see where is that at?
Where's that at, Jay? Where at? Oh, on I-10. Okay, and so I'd imagine that's probably normal. I don't know if people, or maybe y'all could answer. Are people getting heightened by this, and are they starting to move in vehicles, or y'all seeing it sort of slow right now?
I mean, like you said, on the way over here, you got your usual that's preparing gasoline, filling up gas cans, going to the store and getting those type of things.
But you said
situated.
north, go north, because
east to west, you don't know where that storm's going to come in at, especially with it still being a good ways out. It could always shift at the last second. East to west, you think you're out of the way, but if you go north, you could really get out the way going north.
I know a guy that formerly had y'all position and moved up in the ranks, Frank Besson. He's looking out for people in Grand Isle too, wondering, what's going to happen there. So nobody knows. I mean, that's the thing with this. The models are showing, though, Jay, if we could bring up the models again with this storm, there's always those rogue models. One of them's coming over Terrebonne Parish, we'll show you in a second. But the rest of them, the consensus is Vermilion. You know? So, but it's just always that one rogue model that gets everybody in a panic and a tizzy. But I always tell people, believe that model is correct.
Yeah.
Because it could happen. What's the meetings like when y'all getting ready? Is there a big meeting at Troop where they deploy, or do y'all all know what you basically have to do?
So starting Wednesday, Troop C is going to be working what we call double shifts. So we'll have extra personnel out, double the personnel. So we're making that preparation on Wednesday. But as far as meetings goes, I mean, we're already in communications with the governor's office, Homeland Preparedness. Tomorrow they're going to activate our emergency operations center in Baton Rouge. So there's already personnel that are pre-planning for this upcoming storm. And just make sure those proper resources are in place. I mean, of course, we already got a game plan how to respond to this too. Like I say, we already got extra personnel that's going to be coming out the day before. So it's not anything new, but again, we just caution people when they're traveling. I imagine this evening there's probably going to be a lot of traffic and stuff on the roadways, people going out and getting supplies. So just be patient on the roads, be patient in the stores. I imagine the lines are going to be long at the checkouts and stuff like that. So just do what you can today, and hopefully this storm passes through, minimum damage, and we just get by with another one.
Yeah, and let me ask you, Trooper Larvadane, to sort of tell people to take a deep breath, because y'all out there working too. And I saw it so often when I ride in the beat that when people get frantic, they sort of take it out on police sometimes. So y'all have to almost be a pincushion sometimes and almost absorb it. And y'all pretty good at doing that, but I guess to urge the people to just take a deep breath and sort of
Right. Be patient with your not just police, all emergency personnel, because like you said, we're working in it. We responding to different things. Just be patient with them. They're working long hours. They're trying to get the resources to you to help you out. We understand that, this is a hurricane. It gets people frantic, but we're going to get through it, make it to the other side.
And y'all have families too? Yeah, are y'all families good? Y'all have a plan, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, we got a plan.
Being in law enforcement, you got to sort of have a plan.
Yeah, as any first responder, I mean, that's one thing that comes with the job, is that you got to be available for these storms. So in addition to having to work what you got to work, you also got to take care of your family too. So we have good resources in place. I mean, we all help each other out. If somebody's tied up with something, maybe somebody else can go out there, put boards on the windows, or get some provisions for them and stuff like that. But we got to make sure that we're ready before the storm comes. That way we can better serve during the event.
So we certainly appreciate what y'all do for us, and y'all so transparent with us too. We appreciate that, and thank
Yes, sir,
you.
we
And,
try.
Y'all got to stay safe out there too.
Yes, sir.
So how do you like your new job?
I'm enjoying it. I really do like it.
She's always smiling too, Ron.
Good.
Chris
Positive
Ross is
attitude.
Smiling too. He like to smile too. Y'all do a great job. Thank y'all so much.
Thanks, sir.
And keep us posted.
Yes, sir. We will.
All right, we're going to take a short break. We'll be back. We have a lot more. We're going to probably take a break somewhere around noon, feed the crew, and then we'll come back at 1 o'clock full tilt with St. Mary officials. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Outlet. What brings you in today?
Save 20% on your fall project. Break up with your big box store and come see our new look at Home Outlet in Gray during our grand reopening to save 20% September 12th through 14th. Save on quality kitchens, baths, floors, and more.
All in stock with hundreds more available and at the guaranteed lowest price.
Home Outlet is your home store.
Home Outlet, 100% employee owned.
Thank you again for choosing Trapp Cadillac Chevrolet. Trapp Cadillac Chevrolet has been serving South Louisiana for over 50 years. That's right, 50 years. No matter how much Trapp has grown, you can count on hometown feel, friendly service every time you stop in. Our unmatched service and diverse Chevrolet, Cadillac, and pre-owned inventory has set us apart as the preferred car dealer in South Louisiana. We're also known for our outstanding auto repair service, changing your oil quickly and easy financing. We promise to always give the most in your auto buying experience here at Trapp Cadillac Chevrolet in Houma.
I was coaching softball at Vanderbilt and was the athletic director at Vanderbilt. We won 5 state championships in a row. We won 118 ball games in a row, which is still a national record, I think a high school record. Martin really began HTV by coming over to Vanderbilt and filming some of our softball games. I've been named, I think, 4 Hall of Fames, the Vanderbilt Catholic High Hall of Fame, the Softball Hall of Fame in the state of Louisiana, the Coaches Hall of Fame in the state of Louisiana, the Bayou Region Hall of Fame. And I would have never got those awards and notoriety if it wouldn't have been for HTV. And I'm very appreciative of that.
Sea Level Construction is a heavy civil contractor that provides turnkey services for the industrial and marine industries. From building large-scale infrastructure to installing the foundation for expansion projects, Sea Level and its family of companies offer a wide range of capabilities including driven piles, drill deep foundations, structural fabrication, structural concrete, marine construction, barge maintenance and repair, site work development, heavy equipment repair services, and electrical services. Call Sea Level Construction to set the foundations for your next big project.
Pelican Waste and Debris is your local company. We don't just work here, we live here. Pelican meets every residential and commercial service need, offering roll-off, front-load, and compactor services, ideal for hotels, restaurants, apartments, construction or industrial sites, and much more. We also make recycling simple and cost-efficient. Visit pelicanwaste.net or call us at 985-873-9553.
We're Rev Business, a local provider with nearly 90 years of experience. So when it comes to business in Louisiana, we know that personalized service is key. And we're here to go the extra mile with all fiber solutions that deliver what every business needs, reliability and quality. We're not just providers. We're the local team dedicated to helping you succeed. True partnerships are homegrown. Rev Business, internet, phone, managed services. Visit us at letsrev.biz.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra, available with the connected driving experience and the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck.
Or get $3,500 purchase cash on select GMC Sierra models.
Or get a total of $6,000 purchase allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
See your local GMC dealer.
At South Louisiana Bank, we're great at banking, but we're great at a lot of other stuff too.
Is that a new rod and reel?
Hey, a girl's got a fish. We care about the community we live in and the people we serve. We're not just like you. We are you.
Are you balling crawfish?
No, just letting them soak.
We're proud to be here and work for the place and the people we love. South Louisiana Bank. It's in the name.
This is Martin False live in Houma. We're in front of Hebert's Motel where water is up to the doorknobs at the motel.
Telephone poles almost completely to the ground. This storm had some fury to it.
The following morning, Hurricane Andrew had taken its toll on Terrebonne Parish.
But the stick doesn't lie.
No.
That, you know, they said it started moving north-northwest. That was a jog.
It's a very tense day for Terrebonne Parish. Levee after levee has been breached. You won't know until it equalizes how many of them have actually broken.
And I'm just looking at that stick shot again. That center circulation has moved back on the stick, and Lafourche and Grand Isle to me are ground zero at this point. It's moving right up the stick, and that stick goes directly over Grand Isle and Fouchon.
Domestic violence is daunting, and the psychological effects can do enduring damage. Obviously, all abuse needs to end. But how? The Terrebonne Parish District Attorney's Office is dedicated to ending domestic violence and helping those who have already experienced it. Our office supports many programs that educate and adjudicate abuse towards women. If you are a victim of abuse, call the Terrebonne Parish District Attorney's Office at 873-6500.
All right, we are back. We have members of the Levee District here in Terrebonne Parish, Miss Angela Hidalgo, the Executive Director, and she's been there for a long, long time. Well, she is running the show now, but the project manager's with her too, Mitch Marmor. They both recently were in here doing a one-on-one. Those will come on in short order, but good to see y'all. How are y'all?
Good, doing good.
Good to see you, Mark.
It's game day, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's game day.
Certainly is.
Yeah, no doubt. And I want to show y'all just what I'm sort of seeing, and we'll talk at length about how we're doing with the Levee District. So let's go to the map, Jay. And if we follow this center of circulation off the stick, remember that stick is a reference. It comes through. It's still moving north, northwest. And the more time it moves north-northwest and it tries to make that turn, that buys a little time for Terrebonne, Lafourche, St. Mary, but we're certainly not out the woods, but that just gives you a good visual of where it goes. But this thing has convection all around it. Let me check one more thing before we have a discussion on the levees, because I want to see that upper water vapor loop. Let me take these off first before I can do that. Let me go to the upper level. Here's all your dry air. So in the upper levels, no dry air to deal with. Let's go to the lower level. You got dry air. So maybe some of the fronts will be sheared. We don't know. But time will tell. That could be a good thing, but like I said, time will tell. All right, let's move. Let me go back to that long range. Let's talk about the levees, because it's always a guessing game when you're talking about surge and all this. But people were asking me all morning, what do you think the surge will be? I said, well, that's a loaded question. I mean, we don't even know where the eye is going to go across, but plan for 8, is that something good, I should say? Plan for 8? Or am I off?
No, I mean, I think that's extremely reasonable, depending on, the speed and location of the storm. It looks like it's going to get out of here quick, which is good in terms of storm surge. How much time it has to build up, the direction that it's coming from is all going to affect the surge. I usually get more concerned with those storms that kind of pass across us, where we're building up storm surge for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Now we have had a lot of rain and a lot of high water here recently, which is not good. But yeah, I think you got to prepare for the worst. Especially if you're in a low-lying area. Expect what that worst condition is going to be, and it's going to, 50 miles, 20 miles makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, I always say as the crow flies, people laugh when I say, but it is. As the crow flies, it makes, look at Grand Isle.
Sure.
For Ida.
Sure.
Half the island destroyed, the other half survived, I should say. I won't say it did well.
And we're always looking at a scenario that if it veers left or if it veers right, and we look at those worst case scenarios to see where we are.
But this angle that is coming at, I can't, if it's coming straight up, and I said, okay, if it went east of Terrebonne or Lafourche. So watch this. This is the Lafayette model. If it goes in Lafayette, we're still looking at surge in Terrebonne Parish. There's your winds from the southwest, and they're hitting, the western part of the parish, all of the parish. But so let's move that scenario a little bit. So with a Houma-based landfall, then it comes direct south, but then when it passes through, the winds shift a little bit. So as the crow fly, every little scenario, we even have one for Morgan City. And God, how many times do we hear Clifford Smith over the years say the worst case scenario is St. Mary? But that was coming up the Yucatan.
And that's also a very slow-moving storm. You always used to say, believe me, I heard it many hundreds of thousands of times, right?
You heard it. He would bring it to TV.
Sure. And, this could be a dangerous event. There's no doubt about it. I mean, I'm encouraged by looking at some of that shear. Hopefully that'll stop it from really intensifying.
I hope it works, yeah.
But really, you just don't know.
Yeah. Angela, let me ask you, when you're talking about, like I said before, I've said it 1,000 times, y'all got this system down pretty good when it comes to water. But I want to differentiate some things too, because sometimes y'all get blamed for rainfall.
Right.
Y'all in the flood protection.
Right.
Because the rainfall's a whole different thing. If we saturated, the grounds are saturated here pretty well. But as far as flood control, where does your job pick up and where do you go from?
So we are tasked with managing storm surge from storm surge events, from tropical events, and high tides from southerly winds. And so our floodgates basically operate based on the tide conditions and the predicted tide forecast. It's not necessarily built to manage rainfall so much. So when we have a high rain event and we have south winds, it becomes difficult to manage, how we operate the floodgates with the expected rainfall. So usually we work pretty close with the parish drainage department, and they, as long as they're operating their pump stations at maximum capacity well enough ahead of the storm, then we should be able to effectively manage, a reasonable amount of water. But again, when the system is closed and it's a heavy rain event, you can only do so much, with rainwater, and you hope for a break so your pumps can keep up.
And this is something we probably need to address later on, to do a little forum where everybody is involved. And it's not to say anybody's right or wrong, but it's sort of confusing to the public.
Sure.
The public doesn't know, okay, wait, who's in charge of the rain? Who's in charge of the flood water? To maybe educate, it's a great educational opportunity.
I think so. I think that would benefit a lot of people, just to understand how we work together and how the system operates as a whole, because it's not just the levee district and it's not just the parish drainage department. It's both of us working together.
And it's also working with Lafourche.
That's right.
Yeah, because Lafourche is a big player. We got a lot of shared, in St. Mary, got a lot of shared things of this nature. What are we looking at as far as control structures right now being open or closed?
So this morning we began operating the system. So, you've heard me say before that when we have a named storm in the Gulf or a tropical system in the Gulf, then we begin our closing efforts. So we do have, most of our floodgates are indicating that they're in a pending closure status. We are closing Grand Bayou and Bayou Grand Caillou today. All of our water control structures are being closed. And then we did push out our 24-hour notice for the Bubba Dove floodgate tomorrow. So around midday tomorrow, that gate should be swung shut, as well as all the other floodgates. So everywhere from Pointe-aux-Chenes to Dularge will all be closed by tomorrow, midday.
What are we looking at as far as water? I've been stuck in the studio here, so I'm relying on y'all. But we do have the cameras up, which we'll go to if we need them. I think I saw Pointe-aux-Chenes a while ago, Jay, that you had pulled up. There we go. And we have other structures, so we'll get some pretty good shot. What is that, Jam? Sorry? Little Caillou here. Okay. So we have different locations, but what are y'all seeing as far as water movement at this point?
We're monitoring it right now. It was the tide level had been kind of stable, so we really weren't seeing a whole lot, but we're expecting to get some higher tides, obviously, and some storm surge associated with it. So we're taking our precautionary measures now. You can bring up the site. I think it'll show you the levels if he wants to bring up the data site.
Yeah,
and if you go to the dashboard, it'll show you all the, there you go, the different sites.
So which one would be, we could look at each one as we go.
Yeah, so that's having a 1 point, I think it says 6.1 on the flood side. And if you scroll, you can see that protect us. It's going to be pretty much open. That one's open. So you would want to look at one of the ones that we closed. But those readings are all going to be level out right now because they're open. But starting tomorrow, you'll be able to see how much water we're holding back.
Yeah.
So several days ago, we had a little bit higher tide cycle than we have right now. So that's good. One of the things you guys mentioned was one of the things that we do to try to help with rainfall is to allow as much water as we can get out the system prior to closure. So that's one of the factors. We want as much drainage capacity as we can have on the inside the system. And that's one of the things that we schedule our closings around, which is why we'll close HNC tomorrow. And again, I try to communicate as much as I can with people who call me. We put out the notifications, but anybody listening here, tomorrow afternoon, we will have a full system closure and we'll be closed till after conditions are conducive to opening. Hopefully that'll be Friday or so, Thursday possibly with some of them. So, we're doing everything we can to manage this system for everybody, to try to keep as much capacity for rainfall as we can, as well as keep the water out. And then, we've got weather conditions that we got to look at. If the water starts flowing in hard, it exceeds some of our operational capacity, then we got to close, and it's just the way it is.
It's a no-brainer, and that's what I'm trying to stress to the people with. It used to be a guessing game. Y'all got this science pretty well down to a science now, and it's just doing the right thing. And one thing we've learned over the years is the word reservoir and redundant levee systems and a lot of everything, which we've all been accustomed to. But how concerned are y'all about the amount of rain that's still in the ground here in this area?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Now, it's more difficult to manage it when we do have such saturated conditions right there. But, you know, to my knowledge, the parish has been pumping out as much as they can since last week. All the pumps are running. We've been pumping out and refueling and making sure we're ready to go. So we have a good plan, I think, right now to handle some sort of rainfall.
And the parish president said this morning on this set that they're pumping below
Yeah.
the north,
That's
which
important.
that's music to a lot of people's ears.
Yes,
That's
for
good.
sure.
Right. That's give you as much freeboard as you can get, right?
Yeah.
And you know, one of the difficult things about the state of saturation is our emergency work. I mean, it's hard to respond to anything if everything's so wet. I mean, so that's a factor right now in terms of just responding. You know, it's hard to haul dirt when everything's absolutely saturated. So that's an obstacle right now
That's a good
for us.
point.
you know?
Nobody thinks of those things.
Yeah, sure. It's hard. I mean, it's hard to get sandbags where you need to get sandbags or anything, you know, in this type of weather. And we really are wet. You know, I mean, we have not had levee construction going on over the last week or so because of all this weather.
What was the stat? It was always said if a named storm gets in the Gulf, that didn't it free all up? Was this the named storm we were waiting for to free up funds, or did that come prior? I'm getting lost in my storm.
No,
was this the one?
We're expecting, some funds to be freed up as a result of this. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think the colonel said, got to be a named storm.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, we got a named storm.
And look, anything west of here is not a good scenario for us,
Right.
you know. So, so we're certainly very diligent about what we're doing right now and taking this very seriously.
Does this remind you of Barry?
No, Barry kind of scooted across us. You know, I think it's a little different than Barry. Man, they're all different. It's just, you know, it's just, you know, this one's coming from a different angle. It's probably going to have a different surge effect. I don't know, but I'm expecting this to be a water event for sure for our area, especially for southern Terrebonne.
But you remember, that's why I always say high on the surge. Remember Barry? We were all thinking, 5, 6. Barry was 8 or 9.
That's right. On the east side of the parish certainly was.
Yeah.
You know, as high as the worst storms that we've had.
Rita was 10 feet.
Yeah.
It was
9/11.
up
Me
there.
and Reggie used to argue. He'd say, no, it was 9/11. I said, it was 10 feet because it was coming over the levees.
Yeah.
He said, well, it might have subsided a little bit. So we split in hair, 9/11 or 10 feet. But, I mean, but once again, the precaution is just think the highest.
Yeah.
And so what can we hold?
Good question. You know, I mean, it's an incomplete system.
Yeah.
We're better off than we were for Barry by a long shot.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we can handle 10 feet. You know, you know that all depends on where that 10 feet is. But normally, the 10 feet we'd see on the eastern side of the parish would southwesterly flow the whole time. Maybe you don't build up as much on the east side of the parish. You know, it's just so hard to say.
Yeah.
You may have a little bit more surge on the western side of the parish associated with this than what we've seen. I don't know what the magnitude of that is going to be.
And that's all factors that people don't realize that you'll deal with every day. You're right. If it goes west of us, it's sort of a skirting blow to the east side of the parish, but not to the west side. They get hit.
That's right.
They get hit.
And most of those storms didn't come from the west. This one's coming from the west.
It's a whole different scenario to deal with.
Different storm.
But this was going fast.
That's a good thing.
That's good.
That's right.
You know,
Get it in. And
you know, get out of here. You know, it has less time to build up that energy, to build up that big surge. But look, it's a pretty big storm and it's growing. You know, I mean, so it's going to have surge associated with it, no doubt.
Yeah, let's go to the map, Jay. Back to the map, because I want to point that out to people. Look at from when we came on this morning, you know, in facts of looking at a storm, and I always use the word, it's a beautiful storm. It doesn't have that distinct eye yet, but trust me, there's going to be an eye coming. This thing's too pretty not to have an eye, so we're just going to have to watch it. There are some cooler waters in the Gulf because of the rainfall we had. And that may be a saving grace, and I'm going to check out that, once again, that lower. Now, this is the lower atmosphere of the storm. Well, I'm sure hoping that water vapor, I'm sure hoping that, see the upper level, let me compare the upper level. Let me go back to the lower level. That dry air is not as good looking as it was this morning when we came on. So I think this storm's just getting its act together. That's why it's going to intensify, because it's not pulling any kind of dry air. You see a little dry air right here, but it's pushing it out. There's nothing. Remember, Gustav, the saving grace was when it came in as a 4 in the Gulf, and before it hit land, it came at 2 because it sucked in the dry air. I don't see this yet. I don't think it's going to happen, but
I hope you're wrong.
I do too. I really hope I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But we'll see. So anything else? What else can we leave the people with?
Just one thing I want to mention is on the eastern side, but we are closing the Highway 56 and the Highway 665 road gates.
Okay.
So just so people are aware, there's always a way around up and over, but we'll have deputies out there to assist people and just make sure that they know that those are closing probably tomorrow afternoon or Wednesday morning.
And y'all got crews all over these areas moving around, checking things. And how many people do y'all have doing that? How many on staff?
About 25.
25.
And then several consultants
Right.
as well, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Where's Reggie today?
Reggie, I think, is on his way he's traveling the country right now.
And I'm just poking at him, you know.
Yep.
Because Angela's been there how many years?
23.
23
Yep.
years. You were
Long
there for a
time.
long time.
Yep.
You've had to put up with all these A personalities all this time, huh?
Yep.
But I think I asked you on the one-on-one, you got to have a personality too sometimes, right?
Sometimes not, but sometimes I do.
No, she does, certainly. I mean, she's kept us in line for a long time. You know, she kept Reggie in line for a long time. And
Amen.
that's not an easy job to do.
Amen. Well, thank y'all for what y'all do. We appreciate it. Y'all don't always get the credit y'all deserve, but in my book, y'all top notch. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, Mark.
All right. Okay, we'll take a break. We'll be back. Don't go away.
We're Rev Business, a local provider with nearly 90 years of experience. So when it comes to business in Louisiana, we know that personalized service is key. And we're here to go the extra mile with all fiber solutions that deliver what every business needs: reliability and quality. We're not just providers. We're the local team dedicated to helping you succeed. True partnerships are homegrown. Rev Business, internet, phone, managed services. Visit us at letsrev.biz.
GenGators Power Systems is the area's leading Kohler standby generator solution, specializing in maintenance, repair, and installation on all major brands, from gas to diesel and 2kW to 2000. Home or commercial, our team has you covered. Our factory-certified technicians and installers are highly trained to provide response and repair when you need it the most. We service what we sell, period. Trust the GenGators, where we sink our teeth into service.
Looking to achieve a healthier lifestyle but have little time? The Terrebonne General Executive Health Program can improve your overall health for a lifetime in one visit. With little to no waiting, you get a whole year of wellness in one convenient location. Our preventative screenings increase your well-being by providing early detection against illness. With exceptional VIP service, you leave with a plan in hand to achieve a healthier lifestyle tailored for you. Call the Terrebonne General Executive Health Team at 985-850-6204 today.
At Big Wheels Travel Center, the fun and excitement are just around the corner in Bayou Blue.
Big Wheels is open 24 hours a day and features 24-hour security, clean restrooms, and a wide selection of beer, soft drinks, and chips for all your needs. While you're there, visit the casino for daily cash prizes and drink specials 7 days a week. You'll get the feeling as if you're in a lush Vegas-style casino. Big Wheels also has one of the largest subways in the area, so stop by Big Wheels Travel Center where everyone's a winner.
You gotta try this. And some of those. Ooh, and definitely that. You won't be disappointed, but just know you can only get it here. Up and down Louisiana's Cajun Bayou in Lafourche Parish. Y'all come visit. We're just 35 miles south of New Orleans. Hungry? Let's eat!
Since 1911, the Pierre Parts Store has been your one-stop shop. Family owned and operated for 4 generations, the Pierre Parts Store has served the community by providing groceries, hardware, home products, and much more, including a full-service lumber yard. Now, we've added the Thibodaux store to the family with the same values and service we've delivered for over 100 years. The Pierre Parts Store and the Thibodaux store, our family serving your family.
Along, we're going to come back at 1 p.m. Jimmy Broussard, the director of St. Mary Parish Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness, will be on. We have a lot of St. Mary officials that will be on with us at 1 p.m. I'm going to give my crew a little break, let them get a snack, let them get something to drink, stretch a little bit, and then we'll be back at 1 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and HTV. We'll go back to regular programming right now until 1 o'clock. Thanks for joining.
Dive into Sportsman's Paradise at Sportsman Cycle and Marine. We're your new exclusive dealer for easy-go golf carts in St. Mary Parish. See the whole line, plus a full inventory of Sea-Doos and Yamaha Wave Runners, Honda and Yamaha Power Sports, and a huge variety of utility and off-road vehicles, plus a wide selection of accessories for everything in stock. Come visit our new 26,000-foot facility on Highway 182 in Morgan City, packed with the rides you need to live your adventure. Sportsman Cycle and Marine.
Led by a 7-member commission, the Terrebonne Port was created to assist our local industry in promoting economic development. We monitor government regulations that affect our local industry and work with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to secure maintenance dredging funds. Because the HNC is the main artery for the heartbeat of Terrebonne's economy, Terrebonne Port fights a constant battle for funding to maintain the federally authorized navigable depth. We are now leasing waterfront and non-waterfront property. Terrebonne Port Commission, serving our industry to keep Terrebonne thriving.
Do you or a loved one need help dealing with opioid use? There is help nearby. Go to opioidhelpla.org. There you will find medication and outpatient therapy nearby. Telehealth may be available. Uninsured or on Medicaid, there's help. You can be prescribed medication like Suboxone in an office-based opioid treatment site. You keep your